Imagine sitting in a quiet room. No noise, no notifications, no one to impress. Just you, your thoughts, and the silence. For some, that sounds like peace. For others, it feels like a trap. But here's the truth. If silence makes you nervous, it means you haven't met yourself yet. Most people can't be alone without reaching for something. Music, a screen, a distraction. Not because they enjoy it, but because they're running from stillness, from self-reflection, from that deep, honest voice inside that only speaks when everything else is quiet. But here's the power you didn't know you had. When you learn to be alone, truly alone, you stop being afraid of life. You stop being afraid of people leaving, of opinions changing, of moments when no one claps. You become solid, calm, unshakable. This isn't about becoming cold or distant. It's about becoming complete. Today, you're going to discover 15 Stoic lessons that will show you how to use solitude as strength. These aren't just ideas. They are tools used by emperors, philosophers, and warriors to build a self that doesn't fall apart when left in silence. So, get ready, because after this video, your relationship with being alone will never be the same again. Before we begin, I want you to say this out loud or type it in the comments. Starting today, I am mastering solitude. I am Stoic. You're not just saying a phrase, you're building a mindset, one that doesn't flinch when left with nothing but your own thoughts, one that finds peace, power, and purpose in quiet. Write it, say it, believe it. Let's begin. Number 1. Cultivate the fortress within. Sit still. No music, no phone, no people, just silence. How does it feel? For most, that moment feels like falling into a black hole. They get restless, anxious, even scared. Why? Because they never built anything inside. No structure, no grounding, no inner strength. They've built their life leaning on others, on noise, on attention, on constant movement. So the second it all fades, they collapse. But the Stoic doesn't collapse. The Stoic stands. Why? Because the Stoic builds a fortress inside, one that no one can touch and nothing can shake. You must start building that fortress today, not with bricks or cement, but with thoughts, values, and discipline. Build it with silence, build it with clarity, build it with strength that doesn't need applause to stand tall. Most people live like tents, easy to set up, easy to knock down. They depend on the weather, the people around them, the mood of the day. But a fortress stands through storms, through noise, through loss, through loneliness. A fortress doesn't panic when it's alone. It was built to stand alone. Think about your day. How often do you rush from one thing to another, texting, scrolling, listening to noise just to avoid silence? Most people can't sit still because the moment they do, their mind starts talking, and they're not ready to listen. The thoughts feel messy, scattered, and loud, so they run from it. But running doesn't help. Running makes it worse. The more you avoid solitude, the weaker your foundation becomes. The Stoic does the opposite. They turn down the volume of the world and walk into that inner space with purpose. They say, "This is where I will build. This is where I will live." Start by spending just 10 minutes a day with yourself. No distractions, just sit. It will feel uncomfortable at first. It's supposed to. But that's the point. You're training your mind to stop needing outside stimulation. You're showing yourself that silence is not empty. It's full of answers. During those 10 minutes, breathe, observe, Let your mind settle. And when thoughts arise, don't run. Look at them. Are they helpful? Are they true? Are they even yours? This is how you build awareness. This is how you start placing the first stones in that fortress. Next, write. Not for social media, not to impress anyone, just for you. Write what you believe in. Write what you want to stand for. What values do you choose, even when no one is watching? What kind of life are you committed to living, even if you're the only one clapping? Because here's the hard truth. If your confidence only exists when someone's watching, it's not confidence, it's theater. And theater crumbles when the crowd leaves. But a fortress, it stands tall even when no one visits. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire. He had power, advisors, armies, yet every morning he turned inward. He wrote in his journal, reminding himself who he wanted to be. He wasn't writing for likes or approval. He was building, quietly, brick by brick, principle by principle, alone, but never weak. You have the same chance. You don't need a crowd. You don't need applause. You need structure inside your mind. You need rules you live by, even when no one's around to enforce them. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you a fortress. So next time you feel lonely, don't ask, who can distract me? Ask instead, what have I built inside? If the answer is nothing, start building. If the answer is chaos, start cleaning. If the answer is fear, face it. Because one day, the noise will stop. The people will leave. The audience will vanish. And what you've built inside, that's what will remain. Will it be shaky, or will it stand? Make the decision now. Say it to yourself. I will build a fortress within, not for show, not for status, but for peace, for power, for strength that no one can take. Start today. Lay the first brick. Sit in silence. Face what you find. And begin the work of becoming unshakable. Number 2. Withdrawal is not weakness, it's refinement. Pulling away doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean you've failed. It doesn't mean you're broken or antisocial or cold. It means you're sharpening, like a blade taken out of battle and placed on the stone, like a warrior stepping off the field to clean his armor, to catch his breath, to prepare for what comes next. But most people don't understand this. They think stepping back is a sign of weakness. They think that the only way to be strong is to keep pushing, keep talking, keep showing up, keep being seen. So they stay busy, they stay loud, they stay in the noise, terrified of what silence might say. But a Stoic knows better. A Stoic knows that silence is not a threat. It's a teacher. That stepping back is not retreat. It's recovery. That withdrawal is not weakness. It's refinement. Think about it like this. Imagine a sword. You use it every day. You swing it in every fight. Over time, it dulls. The edge softens. It loses its bite. What happens if you never take the time to pull it from its sheath and sharpen it? Eventually, it becomes useless. It may still look strong. It may still feel heavy, but it can't cut anymore. The same happens to the mind. When you're always in noise, always around people, always chasing, defending, performing, your edge dulls. You forget who you are. You start thinking other people's opinions are facts. You start reacting instead of choosing. That's not strength. That's erosion. So what do? You withdraw. Not to disappear, not to sulk, but to realign, to strip away the nonsense, to remember what matters. That's what Stoics do. They step away so they can return stronger. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire in the world, but he often withdrew into silence. He would retreat into his journal, into his thoughts, into quiet. Not because he was weak, but because he knew that power without clarity is dangerous. Influence without reflection is chaos. In your life, you need this too. Take moments where you intentionally unplug. Say no to one more message. Turn off the background noise. Let the world move without you for a moment. It'll survive, and you'll come back clearer. Let people misunderstand your silence. Let them think you're distant. You don't owe them noise. You owe yourself alignment. And alignment can't be rushed. It has to be felt. It has to be sharpened in stillness. Withdrawal is not about running away from life. It's about running towards something deeper. It's about asking the hard questions. Am I living how I want to live? Have I started reacting more than choosing? Am I chasing approval instead of meaning? These answers don't come in the crowd. They come in solitude. Try this. Once a week, step back. No conversations, no screens. Just you, a notebook, and a question. Any question. Sit with it. Don't force an answer. Let your mind breathe. Let your inner compass point north again. Because when you're constantly surrounded, you lose your signal. You pick up other people's noise, their opinions, their fears. It all blends in. And soon, you can't tell what's yours and what's theirs. But when you withdraw, really withdraw, you give your soul room to speak. And when your soul speaks, listen. You'll notice something powerful. Clarity returns. Not all at once, not with fireworks, but quietly, like fog lifting, like a blade finding its edge again. So the next time you feel tired of people, of noise, of pretending, don't push through. Pull back. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Say it. I withdraw not to escape, but to refine. I step back to sharpen. I choose solitude to remember who I am. That's not quitting. That's mastery. That's Stoicism. Number 3. Companionship should be a choice, not a crutch. Let's be honest. How many people spend time with others not because they truly enjoy it, but because they're afraid of what happens when they're alone? They're not drawn to company from joy. They're driven by fear. Fear of silence, fear of their own thoughts, fear of being left behind, unnoticed, or forgotten. But a Stoic doesn't fear aloneness. A Stoic doesn't chase connection to escape solitude. They connect because they are whole already, not because they're trying to feel whole. There's a big difference. Most people use companionship like a crutch. They lean on others because they don't know how to walk on their own. They constantly check their phone, not because they have something important to say, but because they can't stand the quiet. They jump into relationships not from love, but from loneliness. They talk, text, scroll, hang out, not because they enjoy it, but because they can't bear the thought of being by themselves for a single evening. That's not strength. That's dependency. But the Stoic flips the script. The Stoic learns how to stand before they ever reach for a hand. They learn how to walk alone, so that if they choose to walk with someone, it's because they want to, not because they have to. And that changes everything. When you no longer need others to feel okay, you show up differently. Your energy shifts. You stop seeking to be filled. You start showing up already full. You don't need their attention to feel seen. You don't need their praise to feel valuable. You don't need their company to feel alive. You simply enjoy them. That's it. Love, in this state, becomes pure. It's not hunger, it's generosity. It's not complete me, it's share this moment with me. And that shift, right there, is the foundation of Stoic companionship. So, how do you get there? Start by spending time with yourself on purpose. Take a walk without music. Sit in a cafe without checking your phone. Cook dinner just for you. Learn to enjoy your own presence. At first, it might feel strange, awkward, even painful, but that's the withdrawal talking. That's the discomfort of breaking the addiction to constant company. Push through it. On the other side is freedom. Ask yourself, do I enjoy my own company? If not, why should anyone else? This isn't self-criticism, it's self-inquiry. Because the truth is, the more you learn to enjoy yourself, the less pressure you place on others to entertain you, save you, complete you, or fix you. Friendship then becomes a bonus, not a need. You stop clinging. You stop panicking when someone pulls away. You stop measuring your worth by how many messages you got today. You start choosing relationships from peace, not panic. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "Be like the rocky cliff against which the waves continually crash, but it stands firm." That's how a Stoic loves. They stand firm. Whether people come or go, whether the room is full or empty, whether the text gets answered or not, the Stoic stays centered. They don't chase, they don't beg, they don't crumble. And ironically, that kind of self-possession is magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't need them. There's something calming about being around someone who doesn't pull at your energy, who can sit in silence without making it awkward, who can enjoy you but doesn't depend on you. That's who you become when you turn companionship from a crutch into a choice. So repeat this to yourself. I do not seek people to escape myself. I do not chase company out of fear. I enjoy others, but I do not need them to feel whole. My peace is mine. My strength is internal. I walk with others only when I've already learned how to walk alone. This isn't isolation. This is freedom. This is Stoicism. Number 4. The crowd is loud, but rarely correct. Listen to the noise, the endless noise. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to be seen. Everyone's talking about what to wear, how to think, what to chase, who to follow, what success means, what failure looks like. But ask yourself this, in all that noise, where is the truth? Because the truth is rarely shouted. It's usually quiet. It's hidden. It's found not in crowds, but in silence. Most people don't seek truth. They seek comfort. They follow what's popular, what's trending, what's easy to agree with. Why? Because standing alone is hard. It takes courage to step away from the group, to think for yourself, to live by your own values, even if no one claps for them. But that's what the Stoic does. The Stoic trains themselves to be alone, not just physically, but mentally. To not rely on the crowd for confidence, to not need the noise for direction. You must learn to do the same. The crowd is tempting. It gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you distractions. It gives you a script to follow. But the problem is, the crowd often moves in the wrong direction. It chases pleasure, not purpose. It loves comfort more than character. It rewards performance more than principle. So if you follow it blindly, you'll lose yourself quietly. That's why the Stoic trains solitude like a muscle. They don't just avoid the crowd, they build strength away from it. Because they know clarity doesn't come from more voices, it comes from fewer, and often the only voice you need to hear is your own. But here's the tricky part. Most people don't know how to listen to their own mind. They've filled it with too much of the outside world, too many opinions, too many comparisons, too many shoulds and musts. So when they finally sit in silence, it feels scary. It feels empty. They mistake stillness for loneliness. But being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is a hunger for connection. Solitude is peace with self. The lonely person can stand in a crowd and still feel unseen, still feel hollow, still feel lost. Because being surrounded doesn't guarantee connection. And being alone doesn't mean something's wrong. A Stoic understands this. They make peace with their mind. They train it, organize it, clear out the clutter. So when they are alone, they don't panic. They reflect, they rest, they rebuild. Try this. When the world is loud, don't match its volume. Lower yours. Step back. Ask, is this noise helping me grow, or is it distracting me? If it's distraction, let it go. Not everything loud deserves your attention. Build a moment into your day where you disconnect from the crowd. No news, no social media, no groupthink. Just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Let your mind stretch. Let it breathe. Ask yourself, what do I actually believe? What do I want from this life? What am I pretending to care about just because others do? These are hard questions, but silence helps you answer them. And once you start answering them honestly, you become someone the crowd can't confuse anymore. Marcus Aurelius led millions, yet he never lost his stillness. Because his mind wasn't ruled by the crowd, it was trained in solitude. He said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do." So say this to yourself: I do not follow noise. I do not depend on the crowd. I train my solitude. I find peace with myself. I choose truth over popularity. And I am never lonely when I walk with clarity. Because in the end, the loudest voices often carry the smallest truths. But the one who has made peace with their mind, that one speaks quietly and walks powerfully. That's the Stoic way. Number 5, stillness is a mirror. Face what appears. Be honest. When everything goes quiet, no music, no scrolling, no conversations, how long can you sit there before you reach for something? Anything. A phone, a snack, a distraction. Silence, for most people, feels like suffocation. But for the Stoic, it's something else entirely. It's a mirror. Stillness is not just emptiness, it's reflection. It shows you what's really going on beneath the surface, the things you've been avoiding, the thoughts you've been hiding, the truths you've been covering up with noise. And here's the hard part. Most people don't want to see it. Because when you sit in stillness, the masks fall off. The roles you play, the image you maintain, the ego you defend, all of it fades. What's left is you, the real you, the unfiltered version. And that's terrifying if you've never taken the time to meet yourself. But the Stoic has. They don't run from the mirror. They sit with it. They stare into it. They welcome what appears, because only by facing it can they clean it. See, most people are so busy pretending to be okay that they never stop to ask if they actually are. They fill their days with movement, their nights with noise, and their minds with distraction, just to avoid sitting alone with themselves. But when you avoid the mirror, you avoid growth. When you avoid stillness, you avoid truth. Try this. Take 10 minutes. No phone, no background noise. Just sit. Don't try to meditate. Don't try to do it right. Just sit. Breathe. and notice what comes up. You might hear a voice say, "I feel behind," or "I'm afraid I'm not good enough," or "I don't know what I'm doing anymore." And in that moment, you'll want to run, to turn on music, to check a notification, to distract yourself. But don't. Stay, because that's the mirror doing its job. That's the truth rising to the surface, and only when it rises can it be cleaned. Stillness isn't about being calm, it's about being honest. It's about stripping away the noise so you can finally hear what your mind's been trying to tell you. It's about sitting in the middle of your own storm and refusing to flinch. Marcus Aurelius did this. Every morning before he faced the empire, he sat in stillness. He wrote, he reflected, he faced his thoughts, his doubts, his pride, his pain. He didn't hide from them. He cleaned them. He sharpened his soul by staring into the mirror of silence until clarity appeared. You must do the same. Stillness is not punishment. It is a gift. It's the quiet room where wisdom lives, but you must be brave enough to walk in. So ask yourself, what comes up when I sit alone? What am I afraid to see? What am I pretending not to know? Because here's the truth. The parts of you that make you uncomfortable, those are the parts that need your attention. Not your shame, not your fear, your attention. The Stoic doesn't judge what they see in the mirror. They simply see it and begin to clean. Thought by thought, pattern by pattern, reaction by reaction, until clarity replaces confusion, until peace replaces panic. So the next time stillness finds you, don't rush past it, don't fill it with sound, don't scroll it away. Sit in it. Let it show you what needs to be seen. And then face it like a warrior. Say this: I will not fear silence. I will not run from my reflection. I will sit. I will look. I will face whatever appears. And I will clean the mirror of my mind until what remains is clear, steady, and true. That is the work of the Stoic, not to avoid themselves, but to meet themselves fully, in stillness, in truth, in power. Number 6. Your mind is a room. Furnish it with strength. Close your eyes for a second and picture your mind as a room. What does it look like? Is it calm, clean, and solid, or messy, loud, and unstable? For many, it's a room filled with clutter, regrets in one corner, anxiety stacked in boxes, distractions buzzing around like flies, and silence hanging in the air like something to be feared. But the Stoic sees this room differently. The Stoic understands that the mind is not just a place where thoughts happen, it's where life happens. And just like any room, it needs to be built, arranged, and cared for. If you leave it unattended, it decays. If you fill it with junk, it becomes unlivable. But if you furnish it with reason, virtue, and discipline, it becomes a cathedral. Here's the truth. Being alone reveals the state of your inner room. If silence feels like a threat, it's not because something's wrong with silence. It's because something's been neglected inside you. Solitude doesn't create panic. It just exposes it. It turns off the external volume and lets you hear what's really echoing inside. And that's exactly why most people avoid it. Because when the noise fades, they realize they never made their mind a home. They made it a storage unit. But the Stoic builds a temple in there. They furnish it carefully, thought by thought, habit by habit. They ask, is this belief useful? Does this emotion serve me? Is this fear true or just familiar? And every time they ask those questions, they remove what doesn't belong. They clear out the drama. They throw away the need for constant approval. They sweep up the broken pieces of old stories they no longer believe in, and in its place, they add strength. Discipline becomes the chair they sit in. Gratitude becomes the window that lets in light. Logic becomes the walls that keep storms out. And virtue becomes the foundation, the floor they walk on every day. So now when the world goes quiet, the Stoic doesn't panic. They rest. Because their mind isn't a prison. It's a sanctuary, a place they want to return to, a place that gives them clarity, not chaos. But building that takes work. Start small. Each day, take a few minutes to clean your mental room. Sit with a journal and write out the clutter. What's been bothering you? What fear keeps knocking on the door? What thought keeps spinning in circles with no direction? Once you see it, challenge it. Don't just accept every thought like it belongs. Question it, clean it, replace it. Then add something strong. A Stoic quote, a clear intention, a reminder of who you are, something that anchors you in reality, something that reminds you that your room, your mind, is yours to design. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. If you don't design your mental space, the world will do it for you. And the world doesn't furnish with peace. It furnishes with fear, comparison, and distraction. So reclaim it. Make your inner space so solid that even when everything outside falls apart, you still have somewhere to stand, somewhere to breathe, somewhere that feels like home. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily not just to express, but to organize, to clear space, to polish the marble floors of his inner room. He did this so that when chaos knocked, he didn't open the door with panic. He opened it with presence. You can do the same. So repeat this. My mind is my home. I will not leave it to rot. I will not fill it with junk. I will build it with virtue, clean it with clarity, and guard it with wisdom. When I sit alone, I will sit in strength, not fear. That is how the Stoic lives, not waiting for silence to feel safe, but shaping their mind until silence becomes sacred. Build your room, furnish it with strength, then sit in it and rest in who you've become. Number 7. Practice the internal dialogues. Most people talk to themselves all day long, but they don't realize it. It's not always out loud. It's silent, constant, and automatic. A voice in the background of every decision, every moment, every emotion. I'm not good enough. They don't like me. I'll never figure this out. These thoughts play like whispers on repeat, and most never stop to ask, where is this voice coming from? Is it even true? But the Stoic does. The Stoic listens on purpose, and more importantly, they respond. They don't treat thoughts like commands. They treat them like questions. They engage. They investigate. They push back. They turn their solitude into a conversation, not with noise, but with reason. They practice what Epictetus called internal dialogue, a way of guiding the self from within. When they are alone, they don't just sit in silence. They think in silence. They ask, is this emotion helpful, or is it just loud? Am I reacting, or am I responding? Is this belief mine, or did I inherit it without testing it? This is what sets the Stoic apart from the reactive world. While most people drift through thoughts like leaves in the wind, the Stoic steps into the storm and takes the wheel. So what does that look like in your life? It means catching your inner voice in the act and responding with intention. When your mind says, I can't do this, don't just accept it. Ask, why not? What proof do I have? Am I speaking from fear or fact? This isn't positive thinking. This is clear thinking. Internal dialogue is not about lying to yourself. It's about correcting yourself. It's about being your own advisor, your own coach, your own Socrates. Because the truth is, no one knows your mind like you do, and no one is with you more than you are. So if your internal voice is cruel, chaotic, or confused, how can your life be calm? You must train that voice, shape it, sharpen it. One powerful practice is journaling, not to vent, but to converse. Write down a thought you've been having, then question it, respond to it, challenge it. Turn the page into a dialogue between the part of you that panics and the part of you that stands firm. For example, thought, I'll never succeed. Response, where did that come from? Is that based on reality or on fear? What have I overcome before? What can I do now? This is how the Stoic moves from emotion to clarity, from fear to wisdom. It's not about silencing the voice, it's about refining it. Marcus Aurelius did this every day. His meditations weren't written for the world. They were written for himself, to argue with his own doubts, to reason through his own pain, to strengthen his inner voice until it spoke with calm authority. And that's the goal, to have a mind that doesn't scream at you, but advises you, that doesn't beat you down, but lifts you up with truth, a mind that says, let's think this through, instead of, you're failing again. Solitude becomes powerful when your inner voice becomes wise, when your alone time becomes a think tank, not a panic room. So try this. Next time you feel overwhelmed, don't just feel it, talk to it. Sit down, ask questions, write answers, get to the bottom of it. Turn your mind into your mentor. Repeat this to yourself. I am not just the listener of thoughts. I am the speaker of reason. I question what arises. I refine what repeats. I am not led by my mind. I lead it. This is how a Stoic becomes calm, not by silence alone, but by mastering the conversation within. So don't waste your solitude. Use it. Use it to build the strongest advisor you'll ever have, the one inside your own head. Number 8. Admire the ones who walk alone without flinching. Watch closely. Not at the person who speaks the loudest, not the one constantly surrounded, not the one chasing likes, laughs, or validation. Watch the quiet one, the one who walks into the room calmly, unbothered, with no need to prove, perform, or please. That's the strong one. That's the Stoic. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, saw this clearly. Despite all the attention, all the people, all the power, he admired most those who could be alone and not shrink. Those who didn't need a stage, who didn't panic in silence, who didn't run to distraction every time the world got quiet. He saw strength not in noise, but in self-containment. And you should too, because in today's world, it's rare. Everyone is connected, digitally, socially, endlessly. But deep down, most people are terrified of being alone. Not just physically, but mentally. They don't know what to do without something to scroll, someone to talk to, or something to distract them. So they seek entertainment. They chase approval. They drown in stimulation. But here's the truth. If a person can't be alone, their peace is borrowed, and anything borrowed can be taken. That's not power. That's dependency. A Stoic chooses a different path. They train to walk alone, not out of bitterness or pride, but out of strength. They learn to stand in silence and not flinch, to sit with their own thoughts and not be consumed, to face their own reflection and not look away. Why? Because they've built something inside, and once you have that, you stop needing the world to fill the space. You become the space. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means learning to carry your own energy, to not drain others, to not depend on constant reassurance or stimulation to feel okay. It means developing a peace that is yours, fully, quietly, and unshakably. And ironically, when you become that kind of person, the kind who doesn't need the crowd, you become the one the crowd watches. People are drawn to the self-contained, because in a world that screams, the one who moves calmly, speaks quietly, and thinks clearly becomes magnetic, not by effort, but by essence. So how do you start building that kind of presence? Begin by removing the need for constant engagement. Go for a walk with no music. Sit with a coffee and no phone. Go to a park or a cafe and don't try to look busy. Just be. Let your mind wander. Let your emotions rise. Let the discomfort pass, and eventually it will. What's left behind is a deeper sense of calm, a deeper sense of self. Train this daily. Build this strength like a muscle. And soon, solitude won't scare you. It'll sharpen you. The next time you're tempted to seek noise, ask yourself, am I reaching for this because I enjoy it, or because I'm avoiding something? Would I still want this if no one else saw it? Who am I when the room is empty? These questions strip away the illusions. They bring you back to your core, and if your core is stable, then no storm can shake you. So say this: I admire not the loudest, but the calmest, not the one surrounded, but the one self-contained. I build a presence that needs no audience. I walk alone, not because I have to, but because I can. Admire the ones who walk alone, then become one. Because when you no longer flinch in silence, when you no longer chase the crowd, when you have everything you need inside, that's when you become unshakable. That's when you become stoic. Number 9. Rehearse isolation before life imposes it. One day, life will take something from you. It may be comfort, it may be company, it may be the people you thought would never leave. And when it happens, because it will, most will panic, most will fall, most will ask, why me? But the Stoic won't be surprised. They've been here before. They've trained for this. Because a Stoic doesn't wait for life to strip things away before preparing. They rehearse isolation in advance. They fast from comfort. They detach from noise. They spend time alone, not because they have to, but because they know one day they will. And when that day comes, they're ready. See, most people treat solitude like punishment. They only face it when life forces them to. A breakup, a loss, a betrayal. A moment when the phone stops buzzing and the room suddenly feels too quiet. In those moments, people crumble, not because they're weak, but because they never practiced being alone. But Stoics do, intentionally, voluntarily, like fasting, not from food, but from attention, from connection, from dependence. Why? Because training in peace prepares you for chaos. Practicing solitude when you don't need it builds strength for when you do. Think about it like this. If you only train when the battle begins, you're already behind. But if you've trained every day in silence, in stillness, in solitude, then when life brings the storm, your foundation holds. This is the Stoic mindset. Anticipate hardship. Prepare the soul. Don't fear loneliness. Master it. So how do you rehearse isolation? Start small. Take one day a week where you don't reach out to anyone unless it's essential. No texting to avoid boredom, no scrolling to feel connected. Just sit with your day as it is. You'll notice how often your hand reaches for distractions. That's your dependency showing. Let it rise, then resist it. You're not punishing yourself, you're training yourself. Or try this. Take a people fast. Choose a few hours or even a full day where you don't engage socially, not to sulk, but to strengthen. Use the time to reflect, to write, to read, to observe your thoughts, to remember that your worth doesn't come from interaction, but from identity. Marcus Aurelius called this preparing the mind for fortune's reversals. He knew that wealth could be lost, people could die, positions could change, and the only safety was the mind you built in advance. The same applies to you. If you depend on others to feel stable, what happens when they're gone? If your peace depends on routine, what happens when life disrupts it? If your strength depends on being supported, what happens when no one shows up? A Stoic answers with preparation. They rehearse the worst, not to suffer, but to reduce its power. They walk through imagined loss so they can handle real loss. They face solitude by choice, so it doesn't break them by force. This is not pessimism, it's wisdom. So say this: I will not wait for life to shake me before I prepare. I will train now, in silence, in solitude, in simplicity. I will fast from comfort to build resilience. I will rehearse isolation, not to avoid connection, but to master myself. Because when life takes away what you thought you couldn't live without, what remains will be your training, your strength, your soul. And if that soul has been built in solitude, refined in stillness, and shaped by practice, then nothing life strips away can weaken you. That's not just survival, that's Stoicism. Number 10. Remove the default need for validation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't want to be alone because they're addicted to being seen. Not truly seen, but acknowledged, liked, praised, clapped for. They measure their value by reaction. Their confidence comes from compliments. Their identity is shaped by external reflection. So when no one's watching, they feel invisible. And when they feel invisible, they feel worthless. But the Stoic sees things differently. The Stoic uses solitude like a detox, a spiritual fast. Not from food, but from feedback. They step away from the noise, on purpose, to see what remains when there is no audience, no applause, no attention. Because that's when the real question shows up. If no one approves of me, do I still approve of myself? This is the test, and most people fail it because they never practice it. The modern world is designed to reward performance. Post something and you get hearts. Say the right thing and you get praise. Stay visible and you stay relevant. But all of it creates a subtle, dangerous dependency on being validated by others to feel worthy. The Stoic removes this default. They unplug from the loop. They don't stop being visible out of fear. They do it out of strength. They retreat into silence, not to hide, but to examine, to clean the mirror, to ask the deeper question, am I still me when no one is looking? And if the answer is no, then it's time to rebuild. Because if your self-worth crumbles when the spotlight turns off, then what you had wasn't self-worth. It was a performance, and performance is fragile. It can be cancelled, ignored, or forgotten. But character stays, especially in solitude. So how do you detox from validation? Start by observing how often you seek it. When you finish a task, do you need someone to notice? When you dress a certain way, is it for yourself or for someone else's approval? When you speak, do you say what's true or what will be received well? These aren't accusations, they're invitations to look deeper, to find the roots. Then remove one layer at a time. Write something and don't share it. Take a walk and don't document it. Do something good and tell no one. Feel the discomfort. That's your dependency surfacing. Stay with it. Don't run back to the applause. Sit in the silence and ask yourself, why do I need someone to see this? Over time, the craving weakens, and something stronger takes its place. Internal validation. That's the Stoics' goal, not to be praised, but to be principled, not to impress, but to improve. To live in a way where the judgment of others becomes a whisper, not a command. Marcus Aurelius never wrote his meditations for an audience. He didn't care about followers. He wrote for himself, to anchor his values, to stay clear, to remember what mattered, especially when the world praised or criticized him. You must do the same, because life will not always give you praise. People will not always understand. Sometimes they'll ignore you entirely, and if your identity depends on them, then your peace will rise and fall with their opinions. But if you build your worth in solitude, no one can take it. So say this: I do not perform for approval. I do not beg for praise. I do not need an audience to be myself. I validate my own path. I live by my principles, not their applause. This is what solitude teaches. Not how to be alone, but how to be whole. Not how to disappear, but how to stand unshaken. Not how to impress others, but how to respect yourself. That's real validation. And it's forged in silence. It's built through Stoicism. Number 11. Solitude is the parent of self-authorship. Who are you when no one's watching? Not who you pretend to be, not who you've been told to be, but who you are, unfiltered, unedited, unapproved. Most people don't know, not because they're fake, but because they've never had the silence to figure it out. The world makes it hard to write your own script. There's always an audience, always someone to impress, always a standard to meet. And so, without realizing it, most people become editors, not authors. They adjust their behavior to fit the room. They adjust their words to please the group. They shrink or stretch themselves to match the mold. But a Stoic breaks the pattern. A Stoic steps into solitude not just to escape noise, but to finally stop editing, to start writing from the soul, not the script handed to them by the world. This is what self-authorship means: to define yourself from the inside out, to stop asking, "Who should I be?" and start asking, "Who do I choose to be?" And that question, that decision, only happens in silence. When you're alone, truly alone, something strange happens. You start hearing a voice that's not shaped by pressure, not filtered by fear, not dressed up for approval. It's quieter, yes, but it's yours. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. You start recognizing which parts of your life are real and which parts were just roles. So you start rewriting. You drop habits that were just for show. You stop saying things just because they sound smart. You stop doing things just because someone else said that's how life works. You start peeling off the layers that don't belong, and under them you find something rare: you. But it doesn't happen in public. It doesn't happen in performance. It happens in solitude. That's why the Stoic values time alone, not as isolation, but as revelation. They know identity formed in noise is fragile, but identity formed in stillness becomes solid, unshakable, authored. This doesn't mean you reject everyone. It means you stop letting everyone else hold the pen. It means you pick up the pen yourself and write a story that actually reflects your values, your principles, your truth. Try this. Spend time each week without outside input. No scrolling, no feedback, no likes. Just sit and ask yourself, what do I want to stand for? What do I believe in when no one is telling me what to believe? What have I been pretending to enjoy just to fit in? Then write. Not for anyone else, just for you. Page by page, sentence by sentence. You are creating the blueprint for a life that's real, not borrowed. Marcus Aurelius did this. His journal wasn't for the empire, it was for the emperor, a space where he reminded himself of who he was, not who others needed him to be. He used solitude to return to his essence, to write and rewrite his role in the world, based not on reaction, but on reflection. You can do the same. So say this: I am no longer an actor in someone else's script. I do not edit my identity to match the room. I author my values in solitude. I decide who I am, and I write it in silence. That's what solitude gives you. Not just quiet, but authorship. Not just rest, but rebirth. And once you write your own script, you stop needing a role in someone else's. That's Stoicism. That's power. That's you becoming the author of your own life. Number 12. Choose solitude over surveillance. You don't need to be watched to exist. You don't need to be liked to be valuable. You don't need to be seen to be real. But the world tries to convince you otherwise. Modern life is a stage. Cameras in our pockets, notifications as applause. Everything shared, everything tracked. People post their meals, their workouts, their thoughts, not always because they want to, but because it feels like they have to. If they don't document it, did it even happen? That's not living. That's performing under constant surveillance. The Stoic rejects that. The Stoic trains for something different. They choose solitude, not just from people, but from being observed. They live in moments that are unseen. They think thoughts no one hears. They experience joy that never gets posted. They know that the most sacred parts of life aren't for show, they're for self. When you do something good and no one claps, would you still do it? When you learn something deep but don't share it, is it still valuable? When you create beauty but keep it private, does it still matter? The Stoic answers, yes, because not everything has to be proven to be true. Not everything has to be shared to be real. Solitude teaches this. When you're alone and no one is watching, you remember how to live for yourself again. You stop waiting for feedback. You stop shaping your life around optics. You start living in full color even when the camera's off. Try this. For one day, do everything without sharing it. Work out, read, cook, write, just for you. Don't tell anyone. Don't post. Don't look for approval. Just be. Feel how strange it is at first. That's the withdrawal from surveillance. It will pass. Then something powerful happens. Freedom, a deep exhale, a reconnection with the present moment, a realization that your life is yours again. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most watched men in the ancient world, wrote his most powerful thoughts in private. His meditations were never meant for readers. They were exercises in unseen reflection. He knew that greatness doesn't need an audience, it needs truth. And truth lives in solitude. So ask yourself, would I still do this if no one ever saw it? Would I still hold this value if no one praised it? Would I still follow this path if it never became a post? If the answer is yes, you've found something real. Because a Stoic lives not to impress, but to align, not to be seen, but to be whole. They don't need a witness to validate their discipline, their peace, or their joy. So say this: I live in unseen hours. I grow when no one watches. I create for meaning, not approval. I don't need to be visible to be valuable. My solitude is sacred, and mine alone. Choose solitude over surveillance. Choose presence over performance. Choose a life that doesn't need to be recorded, because it's already being lived. That's the quiet power of the Stoic, unafraid of being unseen, because what matters most isn't shared, it's kept. Number 13. Aloneness is the final test of inner freedom. People talk about freedom like it's all about movement, where you can go, what you can do, how much you own. But ask this: what good is all that freedom if you can't sit in a room by yourself without feeling lost? What kind of liberty is it if silence feels like suffocation and your own mind becomes a prison the moment the noise fades? The Stoic sees freedom differently. To the Stoic, true freedom isn't external. It's internal. It's not the ability to travel the world. It's the ability to sit still and feel no chains pulling at your peace. The Stoic defines freedom as this: the ability to be with yourself and feel full. No distractions, no audience, no dopamine hits, just you and peace. That's rare. Most people can't handle that level of quiet. The moment things slow down, they reach for something: a screen, a call, a plan, anything to fill the space that solitude creates. But the problem isn't the silence. It's the unrest within. It's the internal noise, the unaddressed thoughts, the unsettled mind. And that's where the Stoic does their work. They don't run from that moment. They lean into it. They treat aloneness not as a punishment, but as a test of their self-possession, a test of their mental strength, a test of their freedom. Because when you strip away the noise, the habits, the validation, the movement, what's left is the raw version of you. And if that version is still calm, centered, and content, then you've built something unbreakable. Marcus Aurelius ruled everything, yet often reflected on how little he truly needed. He reminded himself daily that if stripped of title, comfort, or company, he would still have what mattered: his reason, his values, his self. That was his measure of freedom. Not what the world gave, but what it couldn't take. Try this for yourself. Sit alone for 30 minutes. No phone, no music, no people, just a chair, your breath, and your mind. Watch what happens. The discomfort might rise. Thoughts may flood in. Old memories, fears, doubts. Let them. You're not there to escape them. You're there to face them. And when you do, say this: I am not here to run. I am here to witness, to watch my thoughts, to meet myself, to sit calmly in the company of my own soul. Because that's what most never do. They keep moving, keep talking, keep avoiding. They fear that if they stop, they'll fall apart. But the Stoic stops and stands still, and in that stillness they find their strength. This is inner freedom, when no one else is around to lift you and you rise anyway, when nothing outside is exciting and yet you feel fulfilled, when there's no audience to applaud but you act with integrity all the same. Freedom isn't granted by society. It's earned in solitude. So ask yourself, can I sit with myself and feel whole? Can I be my own peace, my own joy, my own anchor? If the world paused tomorrow, would I still stand? If yes, you are free. If not, it's time to begin the training, to strip away the noise, face your mind, and build the kind of peace that no storm, no silence, and no solitude can shake. Say it with clarity. I am no longer afraid of being alone. I welcome the silence. I do not need escape. I need presence. And in this moment, I reclaim my freedom, not by movement, but by mastery of self. Because once you pass the test of being alone and not flinching, you have passed the rarest test of all. The test of true inner liberation, the test only the Stoic dares to take. Number 14. Detachment isn't coldness, it's composure. People often misunderstand detachment. They think it means shutting down, becoming cold, pushing people away, or living without feeling. But that's not detachment. That's avoidance. That's emotional numbness, pretending to be strength. True Stoic detachment isn't about closing the heart. It's about guarding it without locking it away. The Stoic doesn't feel less. They simply don't let feelings control them. Because here's the truth. When your peace depends on others, how they treat you, how they respond to you, whether they stay or leave, you are always on emotional thin ice. One wrong word, one missed message, one bad mood from someone else, and your whole day collapses. That's not strength. That's emotional outsourcing. The Stoic chooses something deeper, something quieter, something more powerful. They choose sovereignty, and sovereignty begins in solitude. It's in the stillness, in the aloneness, that the Stoic learns the secret. You can generate your own peace. You can create your own emotional climate. You don't need someone else to bring you warmth, approval, or reassurance. You can build that from within. You can light your own fire. And once you learn how to do that, you become untouchable, not because you've stopped caring, but because you've stopped depending. This is the real meaning of detachment. It's not the absence of love. It's the absence of need. It's not about closing your heart. It's about opening it without handing someone else the keys to your peace. And the only place that lesson is learned is alone. When you spend time in solitude, you start to see it clearly. How often your mood rises and falls based on others. How often you chase connection to feel worthy. How often you give away your energy, hoping someone else will refill it. And then you stop. You stop begging for warmth and start building it. You stop waiting for peace and start practicing it. You stop reaching for others to stabilize you, and you become your own anchor. The Stoic becomes a self-contained sun, not in arrogance, not in isolation, but in quiet power. So how do you start? Take time alone, not just to be quiet, but to regulate. When the urge comes to text someone for comfort, sit instead. When you want to scroll for a dose of connection, breathe instead. When you feel a wave of insecurity rising, meet it, not with distraction, but with presence. Say to yourself, this feeling is mine. I don't need someone else to fix it. I don't need someone else to validate it. I can sit with it. I can hold it. I can release it. Practice this, and you'll begin to feel something rare. Emotional independence. Not coldness, but composure. Because you'll know, deep in your bones, that you are not the weather. You are the sun, the source, the warmth. And when you enter relationships from that place, everything changes. You no longer cling. You no longer panic. You no longer break when someone pulls away. Because your peace wasn't borrowed, it was built. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A mind free from passions is a fortress." That's not the fortress of a cold man. It's the fortress of a composed one. a man who can love without need, give without depletion, stand without support. So say this: I am not cold, I am composed. I do not push people away. I simply do not hand them control of my inner world. I generate my own light. I keep my own rhythm. I am whole, not because I have everything, but because I am everything I need. That is detachment. Not distance, but balance. Not coldness, but inner fire. Not isolation, but strength without dependence. That is what the Stoic builds in solitude. And that is what makes them glow, no matter how dark the world gets. Number 15. Leave the crowd. Return with power. Solitude isn't a place you hide in forever. It's a place you go to transform. The Stoic knows this. They don't vanish into stillness to escape life. They go there to sharpen themselves, to rebuild their center, to return stronger. Because true Stoicism doesn't isolate, it recalibrates. It doesn't retreat forever, it prepares. And when the Stoic returns, the difference is undeniable. They don't come back seeking validation. They don't need attention. They don't walk into the room hoping to be seen, heard, or liked. They carry something deeper, something quieter, something more powerful. It's presence, a presence shaped in silence, a stillness that speaks louder than noise, an energy that doesn't demand, but commands. Most people enter a room looking to absorb energy, to pull from the crowd, to find belonging by blending in. But the Stoic, they bring the energy, they bring the calm, they bring the clarity, because they spent time alone, not emptying themselves, but filling up. And when you've mastered solitude, you stop arriving as a question. You arrive as a statement. The crowd feels it, even if they don't understand it. There's something different about you. You don't react the way others do. You don't scramble for attention. You don't flinch under silence. You walk with stillness, not because you're shy, but because you no longer need the noise. That is power. But it only comes from the work done in solitude, the nights when you chose journaling over texting, the mornings when you sat in stillness instead of scrolling, the afternoons when you walked without headphones, letting your thoughts settle instead of running from them. All of that builds something invisible, but unmistakable. So when you re-enter the world, you don't return looking for something. You return as something, solid, composed, overflowing. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He ruled over millions, but his strength wasn't in his crown. It was in his calm. His private writings show a man who spent hours in self-examination, not to isolate from duty, but to return to it clean, prepared, and unwavering. That's your model. Leave the crowd to know yourself. Return to it so others can feel what knowing yourself does. Let your silence be your gravity. Let your calm be your signal. Let your inner work be the quiet roar that changes the tone of the entire room. So when people ask, "What changed?" you don't need to explain. Your energy speaks for you. Your presence speaks volumes. You've done the work. You've emptied the need. You've stopped arriving with questions like, "Do they like me?" And now you arrive with answers like, "I know who I am." That's what solitude gives you. Not an escape, but a forge. Not withdrawal, but refinement. Not distance, but depth. So say this to yourself: I leave the crowd to sharpen. I return not to be filled, but to overflow. I do not seek attention. I carry presence. I walk with silence, and it speaks louder than words. This is the final step of the Stoic path of solitude, not staying away, but coming back different, stronger, calmer, self-contained. Because the goal was never to hide. It was to return, not as a seeker, but as a source. And when you return like that, the world falls quiet, not out of fear, but out of respect. This is what they never teach you, how to be alone without falling apart. But now you know. Solitude isn't a sentence, it's a sanctuary. It's not where weakness is exposed, it's where strength is built. Every moment spent in silence, every time you chose stillness over noise, reflection over reaction, and presence over performance, you were forging something unshakable. You built your fortress. You refined your blade. You learned to stand without a crutch. You walked without applause, and you didn't flinch. That's not loneliness. That's mastery. Because once you learn to be alone, truly alone, you stop being ruled by fear. You stop needing the crowd. You stop waiting for permission to feel whole. And you start carrying a presence that speaks without words. You don't show up empty, needing to be filled. You show up full, overflowing, grounded. You bring stillness into the storm, and that stillness becomes your signature. So now ask yourself, not who will complete you, but what will you build within yourself now that you know how? If this spoke to something deep inside you, drop a comment below. I've stopped running from solitude. I've started building my strength. Let it be your commitment. Let it be your first brick in the fortress within. And have you ever felt like time is slipping away from you in the blink of an eye? But what if I told you it's not just time passing you by? What if some of your everyday routines, those habits you believe are harmless, are quietly chipping away at your youth and energy? Many of these so-called small habits are silently aging both your body and mind without your awareness. Yes, I'm referring to those overlooked details in your daily life that seem insignificant. You might think everything is under control, but in reality, they're gradually wearing you down. Stoic philosophy urges us to focus on what truly matters, to conserve our energy for the things that bring us inner peace. But let me ask you, are you really prioritizing the essentials in your life? Perhaps it's time to stop sabotaging yourself and uncover those habits that you need to let go of, starting today. Make sure you stick around until the end, because the final point might just shock you. But before we dive in, I want to share a story that reveals the deeper truth behind this message. There once was a man named Andrew who lived in a peaceful village. He was a diligent farmer, well respected for the quality of his crops and his unwavering work ethic. Yet, despite being a young man, Andrew looked aged beyond his years. His face bore lines of fatigue, and his body seemed burdened with a weight far too heavy for someone so young. One day, while tending to his fields, an old wise man passed by and said, "You carry the years heavily on your shoulders, though your youth is still with you. What burden makes you look so worn?" Andrew was taken aback and began to reflect on his daily habits. He realized that he rarely paused to rest, that he often skipped meals or ate hastily without real nourishment. He barely drank enough water, and he hardly slept. His nights were restless, filled with anxiety over his harvest. To fight off exhaustion, he relied heavily on caffeine and sugar. The old man listened and nodded thoughtfully. "Andrew," he said, "bad habits are like drops of water on a rock. They seem harmless, but over time they carve deep scars. Not sleeping well, neglecting your body, relying on stimulants that give quick energy but drain you in the long run. All these cause your body to age before its time." Curious and concerned, Andrew asked how he could change this. The old man responded, "Care for your body as you would your crops. Give it rest. Nourish it with what truly feeds it. Good habits, when cultivated, will restore your strength and bring vitality back into your life. From that day, Andrew made small but intentional changes. He began sleeping better, staying hydrated, and reducing his intake of stimulants. Gradually, people around him noticed the difference. His eyes sparkled again, his skin looked healthier, and his energy returned. He had learned a powerful truth. Those little habits we ignore can slowly drain the life from us, and if we're not mindful, we might wither without even noticing. Just as a plant needs consistent care to grow strong and vibrant, so too does our body need love, rest, and attention. The takeaway from Andrew's story is clear. What we perceive as minor, everyday routines might actually be silently exhausting us. If we truly want to preserve our well-being, we must first look at how we live. Before we explore the first lesson, if you find value in these insights, I encourage you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay connected so you never miss new content that can help you improve your life. Let's begin by talking about one of the most common yet underestimated habits: not getting enough sleep. Have you ever stopped to wonder why coffee is almost universally accepted as the lifeblood of the modern workforce? It's because so many of us are functioning on less than the recommended 8 hours of sleep each night. We've glorified sleep deprivation, thinking it's a symbol of drive and ambition, an emblem of success. But here's the truth bomb. Skimping on sleep isn't just draining your energy, it's accelerating your aging process faster than a banana left out in the sun. Let me explain. When you sleep, your body enters repair mode. It's like a crew of miniature workers set to restore and upgrade everything that got worn down during the day. They patch up tissues, regenerate cells, and help you bounce back from stress. But if you cut that work shift short, don't be surprised when you wake up with new wrinkles, dark circles under your eyes, big enough to hide a kitten, and skin that looks like a deflated balloon. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you feel groggy, it disrupts your circulation, leaving your cells undernourished. It's like throwing a party, but forgetting to invite enough guests. Everything feels off, and the results are chaotic. So how did we get here? Beyond the obvious love-hate relationship with your alarm clock, certain nighttime habits creep in like a silent cat. Binge-watching shows until sunrise, constantly checking your phone for the next meme, or guzzling caffeine like you're preparing for an apocalypse. All of these habits combine into a perfect storm, a recipe called How to Become a Premature Zombie. So how do you reverse this trajectory? The answer is refreshingly simple. Establish a routine. Your body craves consistency, so try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's about giving yourself the grace to rest. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Embrace the darkness, draw the curtains, turn off the lights. Use earplugs or an eye mask if needed. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary of calm, not a three-ring circus. And don't forget that bright screen glaring back at you. Put your phone away at least an hour before bed. Trust me, the world will survive a few hours without your social media updates. Instead, wind down with a good book or a short meditation. Stoic philosophy reminds us to seek calm amid the storm, so bring that wisdom into your nights. You'll soon feel the difference, and next time you feel smug about pulling another all-nighter, remember your body is filing a complaint. You're fast-tracking the aging process. Care for yourself, because in this one precious life, there is no reset button. And if all else fails, remember this. True wisdom isn't measured in hours worked, but in the quality of your rest. Honor your need for sleep, and your body will reward you. Now let's move on to something just as impactful: daily stress. Have you ever felt like a circus performer juggling too many things at once? Your job, your family, your responsibilities. That's what stress feels like in modern life. It's become as normal as the scent of coffee in the morning or late-night phone notifications. But here's what most people don't realize. Stress doesn't just weigh on your mind. It etches itself into your skin, aging you faster than you think. Let's talk about stress hormones: cortisol, epinephrine, and adrenaline. These are the emergency responders in your body designed to help you in times of crisis. But like those friends who mean well but overstay their welcome, they become toxic if they hang around too long. While they help regulate blood pressure and immune response, excessive cortisol also breaks down your skin's elasticity, leaving your face looking tired and worn, like you haven't slept in a week. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you. Daily stress doesn't just stem from big dramatic events. Often it's found in those subtle choices we make. Skipping your workout because the couch looks too inviting, eating a tub of ice cream every time something goes wrong. These are the sneaky habits that add up over time and take a toll on your body and mind. So, what's the antidote? You don't have to move to a mountaintop or live like a monk. The solution is simpler than you think: meditation. Yes, that practice we often associate with monks in robes or spiritual gurus. But in reality, meditation and mindfulness are completely accessible, and they don't require much time, money, or effort. Just a few minutes a day, imagine yourself sitting quietly in a peaceful corner of your home. It's like having a small oasis right in the middle of the daily chaos. As you slowly breathe in, imagine calmness flowing into you, and with every exhale, picture the stress leaving your body. There are simple exercises you can do right there at home, like focusing on your breathing or visualizing a peaceful place that brings you a sense of serenity. These practices not only help reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, but they also provide a clearer, more composed perspective on whatever problems you're facing. Who knows, maybe in that moment of clarity, you'll realize that ice cream isn't always the answer, and that a peaceful walk in the park might do more for your soul. And speaking of renewal, let's not forget what the Stoics taught us about dealing with life's challenges. Face adversity with calm and strength. Instead of letting stress sweep you away like a storm, try adopting a Stoic mindset. Accept that life will inevitably throw obstacles in your path, but also remind yourself you already have the tools to handle them. Stress might be a powerful adversary, but it doesn't have to win. By managing your exposure to stressful situations and incorporating practices like meditation, you won't just lower your cortisol levels, you'll gain clarity, focus, and emotional balance. Always remember, life is like a game of chess. Sometimes, the smartest move is simply to pause, take a breath, and think carefully about what comes next. And when stress starts knocking on your door again, breathe deeply and remember the wise words of Epictetus. Calm is the refuge of the wise. Now let's talk about something more visible: smoking. Have you ever stopped to consider what tobacco really does to your skin? If you think it's just a small indulgence, allow me to be your voice of reason, or if you prefer, the voice of smoke. Smoking isn't just a habit that stains your teeth and leaves a lingering smell on your breath. It's a stealthy thief that slowly robs your skin of its youth. Tobacco is one of those enemies that sneaks up on you, and before you know it, the damage is already done. But let's break this down in a more honest and reflective way, maybe even with a pinch of sarcasm. Think of smoking like inviting a group of Stoic philosophers to your birthday party, only to watch them walk off with all your gifts. What do the Stoics have to do with this, you ask? Well, imagine those ancient thinkers were the guardians of your skin. They valued reason and living in harmony with nature. So how does inhaling toxic smoke fit into that idea of natural living? Tobacco deprives your skin of oxygen and essential nutrients that it needs to glow. Worse yet, it triggers mischievous enzymes that chip away at your skin's elasticity. It's as if your skin is quietly crying out, "Where's my collagen?" But it doesn't stop there. The toxins in cigarette smoke disrupt the oxygenation process at a cellular level. Picture your skin constantly fighting for air, like trying to run a marathon with a plastic bag over your head. A lack of oxygen severely affects your skin's ability to regenerate, leaving you looking more tired and aged. So, if you're among those who think those little indulgences don't have a long-term impact on your appearance, think again. Each puff is like a thief, silently creeping into your home, stealing your youth and leaving behind wrinkles and dullness. Some party, huh? So what's the way out? Beyond considering a complete lifestyle change, quitting smoking is definitely a great place to start. But there are also additional strategies you can adopt. First, think about the importance of hydration. Your skin is like a plant. If you don't water it, it withers. So why not flood your life with water and ditch the harmful smoke? Embracing healthy lifestyle habits is crucial too. Fill your diet with fresh fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants. They're like little warriors fighting off the invisible enemies left behind by smoking. And don't forget about exercise. Not only does it boost your circulation, but it's also an excellent way to reduce stress. At the end of the day, the choice is entirely yours. You can live in denial, convincing yourself that smoking doesn't really affect your looks, or you can reclaim your power and start caring for your skin with intention. Just like the Stoics, who believed in reason and self-discipline, you too can shape your destiny. Sure, life is full of fleeting pleasures, but your skin will thank you in the long run if you choose the path of wellness. As Brian Tracy wisely said, youth may be a gift from nature, but aging gracefully is a true work of art. Speaking of things that age us, let's talk about water, or rather, the lack of it. When was the last time you looked in the mirror? If it's been a while, you might be in for a surprise that looks like something straight out of a horror flick. Yes, your skin might not be the vibrant, glowing masterpiece it once was. And why? Because you're probably not drinking enough water. Come on, let's be honest. Drinking a couple of liters of water a day isn't exactly climbing Everest. But somehow, in the hustle of modern life, it often feels like we don't even have time to fill a glass. And yet, hydration is about so much more than just quenching thirst. Think of your skin again as a plant. Water it well, and it blooms. Let it dry out, and it withers. When you neglect water, your skin becomes dull and rough. You're not just hurting your appearance, you're also building up toxins like a walking, talking landfill. According to experts, men should aim for around 2.5 liters of water a day. That's about 11 cups, like you're preparing for some hydration championship. Women need about 2 liters, or roughly 8 cups, to maintain balance. But let's be real. Most of us don't even come close to those numbers. Life gets in the way. Work, social media, the endless streaming of your favorite series, all these distractions leave us wandering through life dehydrated like a human desert. Fixing this isn't as hard as it sounds. Make hydration a habit. Carry a water bottle with you everywhere and think of it as your most loyal companion, always whispering, "Hey, don't forget about me." Tie your water intake to specific parts of your day. Drink a glass every time you sit down to work or after you complete a task. This way, hydration becomes a part of your rhythm, not just something you remember when your throat gets dry. If plain water feels dull, spice it up with a few slices of lemon, cucumber, or mint. Suddenly, your boring drink turns into something worthy of a high-end spa right in your kitchen. And yes, this is where Stoic philosophy makes another entrance. It may sound odd to bring up ancient thinkers in a conversation about water, but hear me out. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. If you can't change the dullness in your skin overnight, you can at least make the conscious choice to drink more water today. It's a small step, but one that carries great impact. In the end, ignoring hydration may seem harmless, but it's one of those tiny habits that lead you directly down the path of premature aging. If you care about your skin and your health overall, drinking enough water should be non-negotiable. Think of your body as a sacred space. Like any temple, it requires regular care. Let me leave you with a little reflection. Life, my friend, is like water. If you don't care for it, it vanishes before you even realize it's gone. And now, let's dive into another sneaky culprit, caffeine. That magical potion we cling to in the morning as if it were divine nectar, turning us from grumpy zombies into functioning humans. But have you ever really asked yourself if caffeine is your loyal ally or your secret saboteur? Let's face it, what starts as a harmless ritual can quickly spiral into a jittery dependence that leaves you wired, anxious, and crashing by midday. If you've ever questioned whether caffeine is lifting you up or dragging you down, this one's for you. Think of yourself as a high-performance sports car speeding down the highway. Coffee might be the fuel that powers you, but pour in too much and you're bound to crash. Stoicism teaches us the importance of moderation and self-control, and nowhere is that more relevant than in our daily caffeine habits. In moderate doses, caffeine isn't the enemy. It has antioxidants, and a couple of cups a day can even improve your concentration. But everything has a limit. Experts suggest sticking to no more than 2 caffeinated drinks per day. And if you're a fan of coffee, organic green tea, or black tea, you're in luck. Those are among the healthiest choices. But what happens if you ignore those guidelines? That's when the chaos kicks in. Caffeine overstimulates your nervous system like a hamster sprinting endlessly on a wheel. Your heart races, your mind becomes restless, and suddenly anxiety crashes the party like an unwanted guest. But don't worry, this isn't the end of your story. There are ways to escape the trap, and they begin with awareness, balance, and making wiser, more intentional choices. First, set a firm boundary. 2 cups, no more. Think of it as if you were a Stoic, someone who chooses to forego temporary indulgence in favor of long-term well-being. If it feels like coffee has become your constant companion, it might be time for a serious self-reflection. Also, remember the golden 6-hour rule. Avoid consuming caffeine within 6 hours of your bedtime. It's a simple yet powerful guideline. Often, what your body really craves isn't another cup of coffee, but a refreshing walk outside, a quiet moment with a good book, or even a few minutes of meditation. These practices can help restore your calm and ease the anxiety that caffeine can sometimes bring. And if you find yourself caught in the endless loop of caffeine dependence, consider replacing some of your drinks with caffeine-free alternatives. Initially, you may feel like you're parting ways with a trusted old friend. But just like the old saying reminds us, sometimes letting go is the only way to move forward. Caffeine can be your ally or your downfall, depending on how wisely you choose to use it. Learning to consume it in moderation will allow you to enjoy its advantages without suffering the consequences. As the Stoics taught, balance is essential. So next time you're tempted to dive into a coffee binge, pause and consider your future self. Ask yourself if it's really worth the price. As Marcus Aurelius once noted, true strength lies not in what you take in, but in what you choose to leave out. Now let's talk about something equally vital: neglecting physical exercise. Have you noticed how the couch has become your best buddy? That warm, comfy space where you lounge for hours, binging shows or scrolling endlessly online. At best, maybe you're mentally planning your dream life while munching on a bag of chips. Ah, the sweet trap of a sedentary lifestyle. That silent thief of youth that whispers, just a bit longer, even though deep down you know better. Let's be honest, it does cause harm. But here's the good news. Just 45 minutes of daily movement can be your ticket to feeling young again, or at least becoming a healthier version of yourself. Think of your body like a vintage car, the kind people admire at classic shows. If you leave it sitting too long, the paint fades, the engine rusts, and before you know it, you're spending a fortune trying to fix it. Your muscles, bones, and joints work the same way. If they're not in motion, the aging process accelerates faster than you might expect. A sedentary lifestyle speeds up premature aging, and before long you'll be closer to grandparent status than your best self. Health experts recommend at least 45 minutes of physical activity each day. But before you roll your eyes and imagine yourself drowning in sweat at the gym, let me stop you. There's no need to become a fitness fanatic to meet this goal. The secret lies in discovering an activity you genuinely enjoy. It could be lifting weights, like those action movie heroes, or dancing around your living room, or simply taking a walk while listening to your favorite podcast. Every bit counts. Resistance training, in particular, is one of the best ways to fight aging. And no, you don't have to aim for a bodybuilder physique. Just a pair of dumbbells or using your body weight can lead to noticeable improvements. The goal is to challenge your body, not torture it. Stoic teachings remind us that control and discipline are the cornerstones of a fulfilling life. So why not apply that philosophy to your daily routine? Find an exercise you truly like, and that 45-minute window will become a cherished part of your day, a little retreat for your well-being. Still not convinced? Consider the alternative. A sedentary lifestyle doesn't just shorten your life, it increases your risk for heart disease. Think of your heart like the engine of that classic car. If you neglect it, it may fail when you need it most. Just a few minutes of movement each day can create a world of difference. So the next time you're tempted to keep streaming episode after episode, remember, your body needs love too, and movement is its favorite language. Less than 45 minutes a day doesn't sound so bad now, does it? Think of it as a daily act of self-love. Get up, stretch, and give your body what it deserves. Because doing nothing is the fastest way to grow old without ever truly living. Engrave this in your mind. Caring for your body is the first real step toward a life well lived. If you don't take charge, someone else might, but not in the way you'd want. Now let's dive into another sweet topic, quite literally, the overuse of sugar. Have you ever paused to really think about what sugar represents? Sure, it charms your taste buds, often feels like a trusted friend, and makes everything more delicious. But over time, it morphs into that one-party guest who just won't leave. Life's too precious to let a few sweets mess up your skin, your health, and most importantly, your future self. Sugar, that innocent-looking white powder we all adore, has earned its bad reputation for good reason. Did you know excessive sugar can lead to inflammation and acne? That's no urban legend. Those random breakouts might just be the lingering effects of that impulsive donut you inhaled earlier. And it doesn't stop at your skin. Sugar is a master of disguise. It clings to the proteins collagen and elastin through a process known as glycation. The result: your skin becomes less elastic, and yes, that means wrinkles. Happy early birthday. But if you think that's the worst of it, think again. Sugar is one of the primary culprits behind high cholesterol and cardiovascular disease. If you thought cholesterol was just medical jargon doctors toss around to scare you, it's time for a reality check. Excess sugar doesn't just mess with your appearance, it endangers your heart, that tireless muscle responsible for pumping both blood and emotions throughout your body. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to guilt-trip you over every slice of cake you've enjoyed over the years. Instead, let's focus on practical steps. Cutting back on sugar in your coffee or soft drinks is a great start. But beware, sugar is sneaky. It lurks in countless processed foods, from sauces to snacks, hiding behind names like sucrose, fructose, and syrup. It's like a culinary ninja, quietly plotting your downfall. So, what can you do? First, become a food detective. Start reading labels and learn where sugar is hiding in plain sight. Take stock of your pantry and say goodbye to products that bring nothing but an overdose of sweetness. Try switching to natural alternatives like stevia or coconut sugar. Your skin and your heart will thank you. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics and ask yourself what you truly need versus what's just a passing craving. Moderation is the secret weapon. The next time you find yourself longing for dessert, pause and remember, your health, your skin, and your future are all quietly watching. Don't let a fleeting pleasure grow into a damaging habit. Make moderation your superpower and become the hero of your own journey. After all, life is too precious to let sugar speed up your aging process. Every bite you take is a choice. Choose the path of wisdom, resilience, and well-being. Now let's talk about something often overlooked, but incredibly powerful: not smiling enough. Have you noticed those days when your smile feels like it's on a silent retreat, having vanished without a trace or explanation? That's not just a mood thing. It could be silently taking a toll on your physical well-being. You heard that right. Your emotional state does more than determine whether you're the life of the party or the quiet one sipping in the corner. It shapes your blood flow, your stress levels, and even how quickly time begins to reflect on your face. Think aging is just a natural process. Think again. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers whose wisdom still resonates in our age of selfies and fast food, understood the value of keeping a tranquil mind amid life's storms. They knew life could feel like a fast-moving river, filled with sharp rocks and cold waters. But rather than complain, they believed in building a small boat to float with resilience. Laughter, dear friend, is that boat's engine. It doesn't just feel good, it's scientifically proven to help. And yes, even science agrees, when it comes to smiling, there's more than meets the eye. The role of blood vessels goes beyond simply circulating blood. They also help in reducing stress and, in the best scenarios, even contribute to keeping you a bit younger. And the best part? You don't need miracle creams to make it happen. Let's face it, we often get trapped in what I call the cycle of seriousness, where every challenge feels like a chaotic storm of negative emotions dragging us into a pit of demotivation. In that state, we forget the simple joy of laughing at ourselves, at life's ridiculous moments, and yes, even at our own flaws. Life is packed with absurd events that, when viewed through the right lens, are comedy-worthy. So, how can we start stepping away from this heavy spiral of seriousness? There are some simple but powerful ways to begin. First, consider surrounding yourself with people who laugh easily, those friends who seem to find happiness in the most unexpected corners of life. A casual coffee meetup, watching a good comedy, or enjoying a board game can be a surprisingly effective antidote to gloominess. You can also try something called a laughter journal. Yes, it might sound a bit silly at first, but give it a shot. Every evening, jot down 3 things that made you smile or laugh during the day. You'll be amazed at how many small, joyful moments you've been overlooking. Over time, your brain will get into the habit of noticing these sparks of happiness, and laughter will begin to feel more natural, like a reflex rather than an effort. And don't underestimate the quiet power of meditation. Stoic philosophy teaches us to observe our emotions and thoughts without judgment, like clouds drifting by. By practicing meditation, you can clear the mental fog and rediscover those small rays of light that often get buried under stress. So, take a moment, inhale deeply, and let yourself smile. Let life flow, a little more lightly this time. To sum it up, taking life less seriously and smiling more isn't just something your grandmother would suggest. It's a real survival tactic in a world that often feels too heavy. The next time laughter feels far away, remind yourself that every smile is a small but powerful act of defiance against premature aging. Laughter, in case it hasn't been said enough, is truly medicine, one without side effects, but filled with undeniable benefits. Now, speaking of things that sabotage your vitality, let's talk about drastic diets. In this era of instant gratification, many people chase weight loss like it's a competitive sport, diving into the most extreme diets they can find. You know the type, the ones that promise miraculous results in record time, treating your body like a fixer-upper project that can be reshaped on demand. But what happens when these extreme restrictions start pushing you to your limits? That's when it's time to pause and ask yourself what self-care really means. Perhaps it's time to give a nod to the Stoics, who knew the value of balance and moderation. Picture this. You commit to such an intense diet that even the most hardened Stoic warriors would raise an eyebrow. Fasting on and off, swearing off entire food groups, treating nutrients like forbidden relics. Sounds like a heroic health plan, right? Meanwhile, your mind is fantasizing about becoming the next social media transformation star, but your body is quietly screaming for help. The truth is, extreme dieting sends your system into panic mode, and not the kind that's amusing when you see dramatic before and after photos. It's the kind that can fast-forward your biological clock, leaving you looking older than you feel. Let's break it down. When you lose weight too quickly, your skin often doesn't have time to catch up. The elasticity that once gave your skin a firm, youthful look begins to fade, and what's left can resemble a balloon that's lost its air, wrinkled and saggy. Imagine that. You want to look amazing for a party, but you end up looking like you've been wandering in a desert for a decade. So what's the solution? The Stoics would remind us, moderation and self-care are key. Instead of falling into the trap of fad diets, embrace a more mindful approach. Picture this, not eliminating entire food groups, but adopting a conscious way of eating where you actually listen to your body and nourish it with what it needs. That could mean savoring a piece of rich chocolate while also enjoying a salad bursting with fresh, nutritious ingredients. It's about striking that sweet balance, a graceful dance between what you crave and what truly sustains you. A great way to start is by keeping a food journal, not just logging what you eat, but also how each meal makes you feel. You might be surprised to learn how much your mood and energy are affected by the choices on your plate. With time, you'll begin making more informed, thoughtful decisions, steering clear of the kind of craziness that only leads to more chaos. The next time you feel tempted by promises of quick-fix weight loss, remember, your body isn't some factory you can push into overdrive. It's a temple, one that deserves respect, patience, and love. As the Stoics might put it, moderation is essential for a well-lived life. Forget the extreme diets that leave you drained and depleted. What really matters is how you feel in your own skin, not the number on the scale. Don't fall for the illusion of instant results. True well-being is built gradually with care and intention, not with punishing food rules or trends that fade with the season. Speaking of taking care of yourself, let's talk about something people often ignore: sunscreen. Have you ever noticed how most people only think about using sunscreen when they're about to roast on the beach? But the reality is, the sun never takes a day off. Even when you're sitting in the shade, sipping coffee, UV rays are still sneaking through, like that uninvited guest who always finds a way into the party. So do yourself a favor. Start using sunscreen every single day. Think of it as life insurance for your skin, without the monthly payments or the fine print. Here's the deal. Solar radiation isn't just a summer problem. It's a daily threat. And from a Stoic point of view, you could think of the sun as one of life's unavoidable hardships. But while Stoicism teaches us to accept what we can't control, it also teaches us to take action where we can. Using sunscreen, at least SPF 30, is a smart, proactive move. Even on cloudy days, you're building a shield against early aging. It's like carrying an umbrella when the sky looks uncertain. It might not rain, but if it does, you're ready. Consider sunscreen your daily armor. The Stoics believed virtue was essential for a fulfilling life, so why not apply that same wisdom to caring for your skin? Making sunscreen a part of your morning routine isn't just a beauty tip, it's an investment in your future. If you skip it, you may find your skin aging faster than that of your friends who somehow seem to have found the fountain of youth. Do you really want to be the one everyone stares at with quiet pity at the next reunion? Putting on sunscreen shouldn't be an afterthought. It's a daily ritual, like brushing your teeth. And remember, reapplication matters. Sunscreen wears off, especially when you're at the beach, working out, or sweating under the summer sun. Reapply every 2 hours if you want real protection. Not all sunscreens are created equal either. Choose one that feels good on your skin, something that won't leave you greasier than a cheeseburger. There are lightweight formulas now, even ones with a touch of color that enhance your look while protecting your skin. And please, share the knowledge. Talk to your family and friends about the importance of daily sunscreen. You might just save someone from future regret or wrinkles. Don't be that person who only reaches for sunscreen when they're headed to the beach. That's like saying no to veggies because fries taste better. Your skin deserves more than that. Be the hero in your own story. Start protecting your skin now, before it's too late. Remember, life is full of choices, and this is one of the smarter ones. As any Hollywood icon would say, Your skin is your first outfit, so protect it and do it with flair. Now, let's touch on another silent mistake that many people make: not going to their medical checkups. Remember that little thrill of rebellion you felt the last time you skipped a doctor's appointment? As if avoiding it somehow gave you control over the system, as if not showing up for that routine visit made you free from all the medical jargon, the cryptic lab reports, and the eternally cheerful nurse who always smiles like she's in a competition. But here's the truth: that so-called freedom might actually be a gilded cage. It feels nice for a while, but it's still a trap. At the end of the day, medical checkups isn't just another tedious task to cross off your list. It's often a life-saving act that far too many people overlook. According to recent university research conducted this very year, routine checkups can help detect illnesses or health issues in up to 90% of individuals. Yes, 90%. If that statistic doesn't give you a strong reason to pick up the phone and schedule a doctor's appointment, it might be time to reassess your sense of logic. So, how often should you actually be seeing your doctor for a routine exam? The answer is as straightforward as picking something off a restaurant menu. Up to the age of 40, you're generally advised to get a checkup every 4 years. Between the ages of 40 and 60, things become a bit more serious, and a visit every 2 years is recommended. Once you cross the age of 60, regular yearly visits should become part of your normal routine, making you something of a familiar face in the waiting room. Here's something even more surprising. Many health insurance plans actually include free annual checkups. So if you're in the market for a new insurance provider, make sure those health screenings are part of the package. We live in a fast-paced world where time slips through our fingers and days turn into weeks before we even realize it. Amidst all that, taking a moment to care for your health might be the best and most meaningful gift you can give to yourself. Let's talk about the small, often unnoticed habits that are silently speeding up your aging process faster than a banana left out in the sun. Modern life bombards us with temptations: fast food, non-stop stress, sleepless nights, and that late-night Netflix binge that feels like it'll never end. Every time you skip a routine medical exam, it's like giving a free meal to the beast called negligence. The truth is, some of the most harmful habits are the ones that creep in so subtly you hardly notice them. Smoking just one cigarette, skipping breakfast here and there, or reaching for snacks instead of meals. Then one day, you find yourself Googling mysterious symptoms, and spoiler alert, that rabbit hole never ends well. But don't worry, all is not lost. There are ways to shift direction, to start reclaiming control. Begin by adding small yet powerful habits into your daily rhythm. Maybe it's going for a 30-minute walk, enjoying a nutritious breakfast, or taking 5 minutes to simply breathe and meditate. Over time, these minor shifts can lead to major improvements in your physical health and mental clarity. They also train you to listen more closely to what your body is telling you, so that when it's time for your next checkup, you'll approach it with confidence, not dread or guilt. Life doesn't hit the pause button, and neither should you. Ignoring your checkups is like hoping it won't rain just because you don't want to get wet. But storms will come whether we like it or not. Don't let the daily grind dull your awareness. Take care of yourself the same way you so attentively care for your online presence. Health isn't just about not being sick. It's a full-spectrum sense of wellness, and sometimes the best way to measure it is through those regular appointments with your doctor. So, next time you're tempted to skip that follow-up or ignore that reminder call, remember what the Stoics taught us. true wisdom lies in foreseeing what may come and preparing for it in advance. Nelson Mandela once said that health is the first step toward achieving success, and he couldn't have been more right. So don't neglect that essential part of your journey. Make sure to check in on your health from time to time. If you've made it this far, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment that says, "Health is the most precious asset." I'd love to hear your positive stories and how staying on top of your health has changed your life. Welcome to this new video, where we dive deep into an ancient philosophy brimming with timeless wisdom, one that can help you rise above life's challenges and discover lasting inner peace. Today, we're uncovering 9 Stoic principles that have the power to help you think clearly, act wisely, and ultimately outsmart the chaos around you. In a world overwhelmed by constant stress and pressure, how can you stay grounded, focused, and strong? These Stoic keys will serve as your compass. Stick with us to the very end, because each principle we share is an essential piece in unlocking a life of serenity, resilience, and purpose. And if this video resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and drop a comment saying, "Keep it up." Now, let's dive in. Let's begin with our first insight. Don't talk about your challenges. This is the Stoic pathway to turning struggles into stepping stones. Greetings, fellow Stoic seekers. Today, we're reflecting on a powerful Stoic mindset that can shift the way you navigate difficulties in life. The principle is simple but profound. Don't talk about your challenges. At first glance, you might think, but isn't it good to vent sometimes? Don't I need to express my emotions to heal? And while there's value in healthy expression, the Stoics offer another perspective, one that revolves around resilience, self-mastery, and focusing on what's within our control. To the Stoics, challenges were inevitable. Life would always present trials, whether it's minor irritations or life-altering hardships. What truly mattered, they taught, was how we responded. Rather than fixating on our problems or giving them more power through constant talk, we are better served by responding with calm resolve and purposeful action. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, every obstacle can become a stepping stone, if we choose to see it that way. This leads us to the idea of strength in silence. What does this look like in real life? It means resisting the urge to dwell on or constantly verbalize our problems. Instead, we focus on the solutions. We build inner fortitude. Think of a challenging work project. Talking about how hard it is won't make it any easier. It might even increase your sense of overwhelm. But if you quietly break it down into smaller, manageable steps, set clear goals, and move forward with steady action, you not only make real progress, but also build grit and confidence along the way. Perspective, another Stoic pillar, also plays a vital role. When we're immersed in difficulty, it's easy to lose our sense of proportion. But if we pause and take a step back, often we can reframe our situation or recognize that things aren't as dire as they seem. Stuck in traffic and feeling tense? Instead of complaining, try using that time to listen to something uplifting. Practice a few moments of mindfulness, or simply enjoy a moment of stillness. You might arrive at your destination feeling more grounded and centered, even if the journey wasn't ideal. So here's your Stoic challenge. The next time you face adversity, try a different path. Resist the instinct to vent or complain. Breathe deeply. Focus on your sphere of control and take decisive action. Cultivate that quiet strength that speaks louder than words. True power isn't found in the absence of struggle. It's found in your ability to meet that struggle with courage, self-command, and unwavering composure. Embrace this mindset, and not only will you face challenges more effectively, but you'll also deepen your sense of peace and resilience from within. Now, let's explore our second lesson. Don't reveal your secrets. This is the Stoic art of discretion. Welcome back, fellow seekers of wisdom. In this next powerful Stoic teaching, we explore a concept that can help you move through life with greater grace and clarity. The value of keeping your secrets. But let's clarify. This isn't about becoming cold or isolated, nor does it mean avoiding vulnerability altogether. Rather, it's about understanding the power of selective sharing and the wisdom that comes from protecting your inner world. The Stoics regarded our inner life, our thoughts, dreams, fears, and intentions as sacred. They understood that revealing these deeply personal elements to the wrong people could leave us vulnerable and even harmed. The philosopher Seneca once said, "If you want to keep a secret, keep it to yourself." He understood the harsh truth that not everyone will honor your truth with kindness or respect, and often the most painful wounds are inflicted by those closest to us. Think of your secrets as a precious gem, something beautiful and rare that deserves careful guardianship. By protecting what's most intimate to you, you build an inner sanctuary, a safe place within where you can think, exercise, or regular self-reflection. This intentional approach to habits helps us cultivate a lifestyle that aligns with our goals and values, creating a rhythm that supports our growth. Each habit becomes a building block in a life well lived, free from the burden of actions that don't contribute to our well-being. Financial simplicity brings freedom from stress and worry. The Stoics taught that wealth does not lie in possessions, but in a state of mind. By simplifying our finances, we focus on spending aligned with our values rather than on accumulation for its own sake. This approach allows us to save mindfully and spend wisely, reducing the anxiety often tied to financial matters. Financial simplicity brings a sense of control and clarity, freeing us from the pressures of keeping up with societal standards. By choosing simplicity, we achieve peace of mind, knowing that our financial decisions reflect a life rooted in purpose rather than in excess. In each of these aspects, simplicity offers a path to a more focused, peaceful, and fulfilling life. The Stoics understood that true wealth and joy come not from abundance, but from the careful cultivation of what truly matters. By embracing simplicity, we reduce stress, enhance our focus, and create a life that reflects our values and aspirations. This journey isn't about deprivation. It's about intention, about choosing a path that brings clarity and depth to our days. Through simplicity, we honor the essence of who we are, creating a life that feels rich, meaningful, and aligned with our highest purpose. Building on the clarity and peace that simplicity brings, we now turn to an even deeper practice, knowing when to let go of control. The Stoics taught that while we have influence over our actions, not everything is within our power. There are moments in life where releasing control opens us to a profound sense of acceptance and peace. This doesn't mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it's a way to align ourselves with the natural flow of events, trusting that some things unfold in their own time. By learning to let go, we embrace resilience, flexibility, and an openness to life's ever-changing circumstances. This release invites a calmness, a powerful reminder that some outcomes are beyond our grasp, and that peace often lies in allowing life to unfold. Letting go begins with the awareness that not every detail can be managed or controlled. When we constantly strive to control every outcome, we often experience stress and frustration. The Stoics believed in focusing only on what we can influence, freeing ourselves from the weight of expectations and overthinking. This release of unnecessary pressure lightens our spirit, creating room for acceptance and adaptability. By recognizing that some outcomes are out of our hands, we avoid the frustration that comes with resistance, choosing instead a path of inner peace. This willingness to surrender what we cannot change allows us to conserve energy for the aspects of life where we do have a say. Releasing control also brings a profound sense of trust. Trusting in the process doesn't mean abandoning our goals. It means understanding that while we can take actions, some factors lie beyond our reach. This trust is a practice in itself, a reminder that life has a rhythm that often unfolds as it should. The Stoics believed in trusting the natural order of things, finding peace in the knowledge that certain aspects of life are self-regulating. By releasing control, we cultivate a calm acceptance that reduces anxiety and strengthens our ability to respond with grace. This trust becomes a powerful ally, enabling us to face life's uncertainties with a sense of stability and calm. Letting go of control also enhances our resilience as it prepares us for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable, and rigid control often leads to disappointment when things don't go as planned. By choosing to release control, we develop the mental flexibility to adapt to whatever comes our way. This adaptability strengthens our resilience, helping us recover quickly from setbacks and maintain perspective during challenging times. The Stoics valued resilience as a sign of inner strength, a quality that allows us to endure and grow. This flexibility becomes a source of courage, giving us the confidence to face each day without the fear of losing control. Learning to let go also brings clarity to our goals, as it helps us distinguish between what is essential and what is not. Often, our desire to control everything clouds our vision, making it difficult to see what truly matters. By releasing this grip, we allow ourselves to focus on the pursuits that align with our values, letting go of unnecessary worries. This clarity frees us from distractions, enabling us to channel our energy toward meaningful actions. The Stoics believed in the power of intention, understanding that a clear focus brings purpose to our lives. By choosing to let go, we refine our goals, creating a path that feels authentic and aligned with our highest aspirations. In relationships, letting go of control fosters healthier connections. When we try to manage others' thoughts, actions, or feelings, we create tension and distance. True connection flourishes when we accept others as they are, without trying to mold them to our expectations. This release of control builds trust, as it respects each person's autonomy and individuality. The Stoics valued acceptance, recognizing that relationships thrive on mutual understanding rather than control. By letting go, we create space for authentic interactions, allowing love and respect to flourish without the constraints of expectations. This acceptance strengthens our bonds, creating relationships that are both supportive and freeing. Letting go of control also reduces the stress that comes with constant striving. When we attempt to force outcomes, we create tension that often leads to exhaustion and burnout. By learning to release control, we alleviate this pressure, bringing a sense of ease to our actions. The Stoics saw the value in acting without attachment to results, focusing instead on the quality of the effort itself. This shift in mindset transforms how we approach our goals, allowing us to work with dedication but without the stress of needing specific results. This freedom from outcome-oriented thinking enriches our lives, as it encourages us to find joy in the journey rather than in the end goal alone. In our personal growth, Releasing control fosters openness to change and transformation. When we rigidly control our paths, we often limit ourselves to familiar routines, missing out on growth opportunities. Letting go allows us to explore new experiences, welcoming growth without fear or restriction. The Stoics believed that growth comes from embracing change, seeing each new experience as a lesson. By releasing control, we remain open to life's teachings, evolving in ways we may not have anticipated. This willingness to grow creates a life that is dynamic and ever-expanding, a journey of continuous learning and self-discovery. Letting go also invites humility, a recognition that we don't have all the answers. Control often comes from a desire to know or predict every outcome, a mindset that can create frustration when things don't align with our expectations. Embracing humility reminds us that there is wisdom in uncertainty, that sometimes life offers insights beyond our understanding. The Stoics valued humility, seeing it as a pathway to wisdom. By releasing control, we acknowledge the limits of our knowledge, finding peace in not having all the answers. This humility strengthens our resilience, as it opens us to possibilities that we might have overlooked in a state of rigid control. Releasing control allows us to experience life more fully, as it frees us from the constraints of constant worry. When we try to manage every detail, we often miss the beauty of the present moment. Letting go brings us into the now, where we can fully engage with our surroundings and appreciate life's small joys. The Stoics taught the importance of presence, understanding that true fulfillment comes from embracing each moment as it is. By releasing control, we become more mindful, savoring life's experiences without the weight of future concerns. This presence adds depth to our journey, enriching our days with peace and appreciation. In all these ways, knowing when to let go of control transforms how we experience life. The Stoics believed that inner peace comes from aligning ourselves with life's natural rhythm, accepting that not everything is within our reach. By choosing to release control, we build resilience, trust, and flexibility, qualities that empower us to face life's uncertainties with courage. This journey of letting go isn't about giving up, but about finding strength in acceptance, creating a life that flows with purpose and serenity. Through this practice, we embrace a state of calm and confidence, allowing life to unfold as it will, free from the strain of constant control. Following the power of letting go, we now arrive at a practice essential to inner peace and meaningful connections: patience. The Stoics saw patience as a profound strength, one that allows us to endure, grow, and deepen our relationships. Patience is more than simply waiting. It's a calm resilience that strengthens our character and nurtures compassion. When we cultivate patience, we become more understanding, kinder, and less reactive. This practice brings clarity, helping us respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Patience with ourselves fosters self-acceptance and growth, while patience with others creates harmony and understanding. Through patience, we learn to embrace life's pace with grace, finding peace in the journey. Practicing patience with ourselves begins with releasing the pressure to be perfect. Many of us set high standards, often becoming our own harshest critics. When we develop patience, we learn to approach our growth with gentleness, recognizing that true progress is a gradual process. The Stoics taught that self-compassion is key to resilience, as it allows us to grow without the burden of self-judgment. By practicing patience with ourselves, we create space for learning and self-acceptance, nurturing an inner calm that strengthens us in the face of challenges. This patience empowers us to embrace our journey with a balanced perspective, finding peace in our own pace. In our interactions with others, patience fosters understanding and kindness. When we approach others with patience, We give them the freedom to express themselves fully, without fear of judgment. This patience builds trust, as people feel valued and understood in our presence. The Stoics valued relationships rooted in respect and empathy, knowing that patience is essential to both. By being patient, we create an atmosphere where true connection can thrive, allowing for open communication and mutual respect. This approach not only enhances our relationships, but also deepens our ability to see beyond surface behaviors, appreciating the unique experiences and perspectives of others. Patience helps us navigate difficult situations with a steady mind. Life presents countless challenges, and it's natural to feel frustration or impatience in moments of stress. By cultivating patience, we develop a calm resilience that helps us face these challenges without being overwhelmed. The Stoics believed that patience is a form of strength, one that helps us endure hardship without losing our composure. This strength allows us to approach difficulties with clarity, finding solutions rather than reacting impulsively. Patience in tough times empowers us to remain grounded, giving us the confidence to overcome obstacles with a steady, thoughtful approach. Practicing patience also helps us let go of the need for instant results. In a world that often values speed and immediate gratification, patience reminds us that true growth takes time. By accepting this reality, we reduce the pressure to rush through our goals, allowing each step to unfold naturally. The Stoics taught that enduring results are built on consistent effort rather than haste. Patience with our goals keeps us focused and motivated, as we understand that each small step contributes to lasting progress. This long-term perspective fosters resilience, enabling us to stay committed without the frustration that comes from unrealistic timelines. With ourselves, patience creates room for self-reflection and self-discovery. When we are patient with our own journey, we take the time to understand our motivations, strengths, and areas for improvement. This introspective practice nurtures a deeper connection with who we are, fostering growth that aligns with our values. The Stoics valued self-awareness as a cornerstone of wisdom, and patience is essential to this understanding. By allowing ourselves time for reflection, we gain insights that guide our choices and actions. This patience with ourselves builds a foundation of self-trust, helping us grow with integrity and intention. In relationships, patience prevents unnecessary conflict and fosters harmony. When we respond impatiently, we often react emotionally, escalating tension rather than resolving it. Patience, however, gives us the pause needed to consider our words and actions, allowing us to communicate thoughtfully. This patience reduces misunderstandings and creates a space where differences can be addressed calmly. The Stoics valued thoughtful communication, knowing that patience plays a crucial role in maintaining peace. By practicing patience in our interactions, we build relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding, strengthening our bonds with others. Patience with ourselves encourages persistence, a quality that fuels resilience. Often, we give up on our goals because we lack the patience to see them through. By cultivating patience, we build the persistence needed to pursue our aspirations, even when progress feels slow. The Stoics taught that consistency and patience go hand in hand, as they enable us to remain dedicated without becoming discouraged. This persistence strengthens our resolve, helping us move forward despite setbacks. Patience empowers us to keep going, knowing that each effort, however small, brings us closer to our goals. Practicing patience also enhances our ability to listen deeply. In conversations, we may feel the urge to interject or finish others' sentences, often missing the essence of what they are saying. Patience allows us to listen fully, giving others the space to express themselves without interruption. This deep listening fosters a sense of connection, as it shows others that we truly value their words. The Stoics believed that listening is a form of respect, a way to build understanding and empathy. By practicing patience in our listening, we nurture relationships built on trust and openness, deepening our connections with those around us. With patience, we learn to embrace life's natural rhythm rather than forcing our own pace. Many of us feel the urge to control outcomes or rush through experiences, often missing the beauty of the journey. Patience helps us slow down, allowing us to appreciate each moment as it unfolds. The Stoics valued presence, knowing that true peace is found in the here and now. By cultivating patience, we align ourselves with life's rhythm, finding contentment in each step. This presence brings a sense of calm as we let go of the need to rush and allow ourselves to experience life fully. In each of these ways, patience becomes a foundation for inner peace and harmonious relationships. The Stoics saw patience as a strength, a quality that brings resilience, clarity, and compassion to every area of life. By practicing patience with ourselves and others, we create a life rooted in understanding, acceptance, and peace. This journey of patience is one of continuous growth, as it deepens our connection to ourselves and those around us. Through patience, we cultivate a calm resilience that empowers us to face life with grace, building relationships and a life that reflect our deepest values and aspirations. Moving from the transformative power of patience, we now explore an even deeper aspect of character, aligning actions with values. The Stoics taught that true integrity is revealed through our actions, not merely our words or intentions. Living with integrity means that our behaviors consistently reflect our beliefs and principles. When our actions align with our values, we experience a profound sense of authenticity, confidence, and inner peace. Each decision becomes a statement of who we are and what we stand for, creating a life that is genuine and purposeful. Aligning actions with values isn't always easy, but it is a powerful practice that shapes our character, strengthens our relationships, and brings depth to our journey. Aligning actions with values begins with self-awareness. To act in accordance with our beliefs, we must first understand what those beliefs are. This requires a commitment to introspection, a willingness to explore our principles and identify what truly matters to us. The Stoics believed that knowing oneself is the foundation of wisdom, as it helps us navigate life with clarity. When we take time to reflect on our values, we gain a deeper understanding of our purpose. This awareness guides our choices, helping us act in ways that honor our core beliefs. By knowing ourselves, we create a clear path that is rooted in authenticity. Living in alignment with our values fosters self-respect, as it reinforces our commitment to integrity. When our actions reflect our beliefs, we build a relationship of trust with ourselves, knowing that we are living true to who we are. This self-respect enhances our confidence as we feel grounded in our choices. The Stoics taught that integrity is essential to inner peace, as it frees us from the inner conflict that arises when we act against our values. By aligning our actions with our principles, we cultivate a life that feels honest and genuine, creating a foundation of respect and trust that begins within. Aligning actions with values strengthens our relationships, as it builds trust and authenticity with others. People are naturally drawn to those who live with integrity, as it fosters a sense of reliability and consistency. When we act in ways that reflect our values, we communicate sincerity, allowing others to feel safe and respected in our presence. This integrity becomes the basis of meaningful relationships, as it creates a bond that is built on honesty. The Stoics valued relationships based on mutual respect and shared values, understanding that integrity is essential to connection. By aligning our actions with our beliefs, we deepen our relationships, creating connections that are both supportive and genuine. Integrity in action fosters resilience, as it strengthens our ability to stay true to our values in the face of challenges. Life often tests our commitment to our principles, presenting situations where compromise might seem easier. By choosing to act in alignment with our beliefs, even in difficult times, we reinforce our resilience. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from standing by our values, as it empowers us to navigate hardship with courage and grace. This commitment to integrity gives us a sense of inner stability, a quiet confidence that helps us face adversity without losing sight of who we are. This resilience becomes a source of strength, guiding us through challenges with unwavering clarity. When our actions reflect our values, we experience a sense of purpose that brings meaning to our lives. Acting in alignment with our beliefs transforms even small decisions into expressions of who we are and what we stand for. This purposeful approach to life enriches our experience, as each action becomes an opportunity to live authentically. The Stoics valued a life of purpose, one that is rooted in intention and guided by clear principles. By letting our actions reflect our values, we create a life that feels fulfilling, as we know that our efforts contribute to something meaningful. This purpose-driven life brings satisfaction, as it aligns our daily choices with our highest aspirations. Aligning actions with values also promotes self-discipline, as it requires us to make conscious choices rather than acting impulsively. Discipline is essential to living with integrity, as it helps us resist the temptations or distractions that might lead us away from our values. The Stoics taught that discipline is a path to wisdom, as it enables us to act thoughtfully. By exercising self-discipline, we ensure that our actions reflect our beliefs, even when it's challenging. This discipline strengthens our character, helping us stay true to our principles and build a life that is grounded in authenticity. When we act in alignment with our values, we contribute positively to the world around us. Our actions have a ripple effect, influencing others and shaping our communities. By living with integrity, we inspire others to do the same, creating an environment that values honesty and respect. The Stoics believed that integrity benefits both the individual and society, as it fosters harmony and trust. When our actions reflect our values, we become a force for good, impacting others in ways that extend beyond ourselves. This positive influence enhances our sense of purpose, as we see how our choices contribute to a greater whole. Living in alignment with our values also helps us make decisions with clarity. When we know our principles, we can make choices that honor those principles, reducing the confusion that often arises in complex situations. The Stoics valued clear decision-making, understanding that integrity simplifies our choices. By using our values as a compass, we navigate life with confidence, as we know that each decision reflects who we are. This clarity reduces the stress of uncertainty, as we rely on our principles to guide us. Acting in alignment with our values brings a sense of ease, as it removes the need for constant second-guessing. Acting according to our values cultivates humility, as it reminds us that integrity is a lifelong practice. Living authentically requires continuous reflection and commitment, as we strive to embody our principles in every action. The Stoics valued humility, understanding that true wisdom requires acknowledging our growth areas. By aligning our actions with our values, we accept that integrity is a journey, one that requires us to learn and adapt. This humility strengthens our character, as it keeps us open to improvement. By embracing this journey, we create a life that reflects both our strengths and our willingness to grow. In all these ways, letting our actions reflect our values shapes a life that is rich in authenticity, resilience, and purpose. The Stoics taught that integrity is the foundation of a meaningful life, as it allows us to live in harmony with ourselves and others. By aligning our actions with our beliefs, we create a life that feels true, a life that resonates with our deepest values and aspirations. This path of integrity isn't always easy, but it is deeply fulfilling, as it brings a sense of peace that can only come from living authentically. Through this practice, we build a legacy that reflects who we are, creating a life that is both genuine and inspiring. From the strength of living in alignment with our values, we now turn to the remarkable impact of small, consistent efforts. The Stoics understood that meaningful change rarely happens overnight. It is built steadily, moment by moment, through simple, persistent actions. These small efforts, when done with intention, hold the power to transform our lives in profound ways. They may seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they compound, creating momentum that brings us closer to our goals. By embracing the power of these small steps, we nurture resilience, build habits, and foster a life that reflects our deepest aspirations. Consistency is the quiet force that shapes our journey, proving that even the smallest actions can lead to lasting growth and fulfillment. Consistency is essential to progress because it teaches us the value of persistence. When we take small steps regularly, we build a habit of perseverance that strengthens our resolve. This persistence is key to facing setbacks, as it reminds us that progress isn't always visible in the moment. The Stoics valued endurance, understanding that long-term success requires steady effort. By committing to small actions, we learn to trust the process, knowing that each step brings us closer to our goals. This dedication creates resilience, helping us navigate obstacles with patience and confidence, fueled by the belief that consistent effort will yield results. Small, consistent actions also help us overcome the fear of starting something new. Often, the thought of tackling a big goal feels overwhelming, and we may delay beginning as a result. By breaking down our ambitions into manageable steps, we reduce this intimidation, making it easier to take the first step. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can do in the present moment, rather than being overwhelmed by the entirety of a task. Each small action, taken consistently, builds momentum, gradually easing us into the journey. This approach reduces anxiety, allowing us to begin without the pressure of perfection, creating a path that feels achievable and encouraging. In our personal growth, small efforts compound to bring meaningful change. When we make a habit of small improvements, whether through reading, practicing gratitude, or learning new skills, we gradually become more capable, wise, and resilient. The Stoics understood that growth is a continuous process, one that requires dedication over time. By focusing on small, consistent actions, we avoid burnout, as these efforts are sustainable and adaptable. This steady growth enriches our lives, as each small step adds depth to our knowledge and experience. With time, these efforts transform us, leading to a life that reflects our commitment to personal development. Consistency also cultivates discipline, a quality essential to living with purpose. When we commit to small actions, we practice discipline by choosing intentional efforts over convenience or distraction. The Stoics valued discipline as a means of aligning our actions with our values, helping us stay focused. By making small, regular efforts, we build self-control, reinforcing our ability to stay committed even when motivation wanes. This discipline enhances our confidence as we trust ourselves to follow through on our intentions. Through these small actions, we create a foundation of reliability, both for ourselves and for others, proving that discipline and dedication create a life of integrity and strength. Small, consistent efforts allow us to improve our health and well-being without drastic changes. Often, we approach health goals with intense, short-lived enthusiasm, only to feel discouraged when results aren't immediate. By focusing on small actions like drinking more water, taking daily walks, or practicing mindfulness, we make lasting changes that are easy to maintain. The Stoics valued moderation, understanding that balance is key to long-term well-being. These small habits accumulate, gradually improving our health in a way that feels natural and sustainable. Over time, these actions become part of our routine, leading to a life that feels energized, balanced, and healthy. In relationships, small gestures build lasting bonds. Acts of kindness, moments of listening, and thoughtful gestures, when done consistently, foster trust and intimacy. The Stoics taught that strong relationships are built on respect and care, qualities that are expressed through daily actions. By making small, intentional efforts to connect with others, we deepen our relationships, creating bonds that are supportive and fulfilling. These small actions show our commitment, helping others feel valued and understood. With time, these gestures strengthen our relationships, creating a network of meaningful connections that enhance our lives. Small, consistent efforts help us develop valuable skills as they create a structure for continuous learning. Mastery of any skill requires patience and practice, qualities that are nurtured through regular, focused efforts. The Stoics understood that knowledge is built over time, with each lesson adding to our understanding. By dedicating time to small steps, whether practicing an instrument, learning a language, or honing a craft, we build expertise. This approach prevents burnout, as we're not overwhelmed by unrealistic expectations. Instead, we progress steadily, growing our skills and confidence through daily practice that leads to lasting proficiency. Consistent actions also teach us resilience, as they prepare us to handle challenges with patience. Life is full of setbacks, and it's easy to feel defeated when progress is slow. By practicing small, steady efforts, we develop a mindset that embraces persistence, even in the face of obstacles. The Stoics valued resilience, seeing it as a quality that allows us to endure and grow stronger. Each small action reinforces this resilience, reminding us that progress isn't always immediate, but is always possible. This mindset helps us overcome difficulties as we trust in the power of persistence to carry us forward. Small actions help us create a sense of purpose, as they remind us that each day is an opportunity for growth. When we focus on consistent efforts, we make each moment meaningful, aligning our actions with our goals. The Stoics taught that purpose is found in the present, in the small choices that define our journey. By committing to these actions, we shape our lives in ways that reflect our intentions. This purpose-driven approach brings fulfillment, as we know that each small effort contributes to something greater. Through these actions, we live with clarity, knowing that our choices reflect our highest values. Through these practices, the power of small, consistent efforts becomes clear. The Stoics understood that true change is built on dedication, not quick fixes or fleeting motivation. By embracing these small steps, we create a life of resilience, growth, and purpose, one that is shaped by our deepest values. Consistency transforms us in ways that may not be visible in the moment, but reveal their impact over time. With each small action, we move closer to a life that is fulfilling, purposeful, and aligned with our aspirations. This journey of steady progress becomes a testament to our commitment, proving that even the smallest efforts hold the power to shape a meaningful life. Shifting from the power of consistent actions, we now focus on the wisdom that comes from learning from the past while avoiding the trap of dwelling on it. The Stoics believed that the past holds valuable lessons, but it is not meant to control or define us. Reflecting on the past allows us to understand our choices, appreciate our growth, and avoid repeating mistakes. However, when we become fixated on past regrets or hurts, we rob ourselves of the present and cloud our future. By embracing a balanced view of the past, we transform our experiences into valuable insights that shape our journey without overshadowing it. This practice brings resilience, acceptance, and clarity, freeing us to live fully in the here and now. Learning from the past begins with acknowledging our experiences without judgment. Every mistake, success, and hardship has contributed to who we are today, and each moment holds a lesson. The Stoics saw reflection as a tool for growth, allowing us to examine our past choices and behaviors with a curious and open mind. This perspective turns past events into teachers, helping us see where we succeeded and where we could improve. By reflecting without judgment, we gain insights that inform our future decisions, creating a foundation of self-awareness and wisdom that enriches our journey forward. Releasing judgment about the past encourages self-compassion. Often we look back with harsh criticism, regretting choices or feeling shame for past actions. Patience with ourselves helps us see the past for what it is, a series of moments that taught us something valuable. The Stoics understood that wisdom grows from experience, both good and bad. When we approach our past with kindness, we recognize that we did the best we could with the knowledge and resources we had at the time. This compassion frees us from guilt, allowing us to move forward with a lighter heart, knowing that each past decision contributed to our growth. Reflecting on the past also helps us develop resilience. By examining moments of hardship or struggle, we see how we overcame challenges and learned to adapt. These reflections strengthen our confidence, reminding us of our ability to navigate difficult times. The Stoics valued resilience, seeing it as a quality that helps us face future challenges with courage. By learning from past hardships, we build a sense of inner strength, knowing that we have endured and grown from our experiences. This resilience becomes a source of empowerment, helping us approach life's uncertainties with a calm and steady mind. Understanding the past helps us identify patterns, revealing habits or behaviors that no longer serve us. When we look back with a clear perspective, we can see where we may have repeated certain mistakes or fallen into unhelpful routines. This awareness provides an opportunity for change as we recognize patterns that hold us back. The Stoics believed that self-awareness is key to growth, as it enables us to choose new paths and make better decisions. By learning from these patterns, we break free from cycles that no longer benefit us, creating room for new habits and choices that align with our present goals. Learning from the past also nurtures humility. When we reflect on moments where we acted unwisely, we develop an understanding of our limitations and imperfections. This humility fosters acceptance as we recognize that mistakes are part of the human experience. The Stoics valued humility, seeing it as a pathway to wisdom and growth. By embracing our past imperfections, we become more open to learning and improving, understanding that each misstep was a chance to grow. This humility strengthens our character, helping us approach each day with a sense of openness and curiosity, ready to learn and evolve. By using the past as a teacher, we build empathy and understanding toward others. When we reflect on our own mistakes, we become more forgiving of the mistakes of others. This empathy enhances our relationships, as it reminds us that everyone is on their own journey of growth. The Stoics believed that compassion and understanding deepen our connections, as they foster respect and kindness. By learning from our past, we cultivate empathy that helps us navigate relationships with patience and grace. This perspective strengthens our bonds, creating connections that are rooted in mutual understanding and support. Viewing the past with balance helps us avoid the trap of regret. Dwelling on what we could have done differently only serves to keep us anchored to a time we cannot change. The Stoics taught that dwelling on the past past is a form of resistance, one that prevents us from embracing the present. By releasing regret, we free ourselves from the weight of what if and if only. This freedom allows us to fully engage with the present, making choices that reflect who we are now rather than who we once were. Letting go of regret empowers us to live fully, appreciating each moment as an opportunity for growth. The past can also teach us gratitude. When we reflect on moments of joy or success, we develop a deeper appreciation for those experiences. This gratitude reminds us of the beauty that has shaped our journey, adding richness to our memories. The Stoics valued gratitude as a source of contentment, helping us recognize the blessings in our lives. By embracing gratitude for the past, we cultivate a sense of abundance, knowing that life has given us both lessons and joy. This mindset enhances our well-being as we find fulfillment in the journey itself, rather than in the pursuit of future achievements. Learning from the past teaches us patience, as it reminds us that growth is gradual. Reflecting on how we have changed over time reveals the slow but steady progress we've made. The Stoics valued patience, understanding that true growth takes time and persistence. By appreciating the progress we've made, we develop patience for our current journey, knowing that each step brings us closer to our goals. This perspective reduces frustration, as it reminds us that transformation doesn't happen overnight. By embracing this patience, we cultivate a mindset of resilience and acceptance, finding peace in the gradual nature of growth. Through these reflections, we realize that the past is a guide, not a ruler. The Stoics understood that while we learn from our experiences, we are not defined by them. Each moment in the past contributed to our growth, but it does not dictate our future. By maintaining a balanced view, we honor our journey without being bound by it. This freedom allows us to step forward with courage, knowing that the past has shaped us, but does not limit us. In this way, we live with a sense of empowerment and purpose, grounded in the lessons of the past, yet fully present in the opportunities of today. Embracing the lessons of the past brings us to a powerful mindset shift, viewing challenges as pathways to growth. The Stoics believed that adversity is not something to fear or avoid, but a crucial part of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every obstacle, no matter how difficult, carries the potential to shape us in meaningful ways. When we begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, we cultivate a resilience that transforms how we respond to life's hardships. Rather than feeling defeated, we find purpose in our struggles, recognizing that each challenge offers valuable insights and lessons. This approach empowers us to face adversity with courage, using it as a stepping stone to a better self. Facing challenges as growth opportunities helps us redefine adversity itself. Many times, our initial response to hardship is resistance or frustration, but by reframing challenges, we find purpose in the struggle. The Stoics taught that we cannot control external events, but can choose how we interpret and respond to them. This interpretation allows us to see difficulties as lessons rather than setbacks. When we approach challenges with this perspective, we reduce suffering, as we no longer view hardship as a threat, but as a chance to grow. This reframing transforms our experience, giving us the strength to rise above adversity. Seeing challenges as opportunities also strengthens our resilience. When we encounter obstacles and choose to learn from them, we develop a capacity to endure with grace. Each challenge becomes a building block in our character, helping us face future difficulties with greater confidence. The Stoics valued resilience, understanding that it allows us to remain steady even in turbulent times. By using adversity as a tool for growth, we reinforce our resilience, building a mindset that can weather life's storms. This resilience brings a sense of peace, as we trust in our ability to navigate whatever comes our way. Approaching challenges with a growth mindset encourages self-reflection. Every difficulty reveals aspects of ourselves that may go unnoticed in easy times, whether it's a strength we didn't know we had or a habit that needs improvement. The Stoics taught that self-awareness is essential to wisdom, as it helps us understand both our strengths and limitations. By reflecting on our responses to challenges, we gain insights that deepen our self-understanding. This introspection becomes a guide for personal growth, helping us recognize areas for improvement and celebrate the qualities that help us overcome hardship. Embracing challenges as growth opportunities fosters adaptability, a skill that allows us to navigate change with ease. Life is full of unexpected twists, and rigidly resisting these changes often leads to frustration. By choosing to adapt, we create flexibility in our mindset, allowing us to flow with circumstances rather than against them. The Stoics valued adaptability as they understood that true strength lies in our ability to adjust without losing ourselves. This adaptability reduces stress as we become less attached to specific outcomes and more open to new paths. With each challenge, we refine our ability to adapt, creating a life that is both resilient and open to possibility. Seeing challenges as chances for growth also inspires persistence. When we view adversity as a teacher, we become more willing to endure, knowing that each effort brings us closer to wisdom and strength. This persistence enables us to stay committed even when progress feels slow, as we recognize the value in steady effort. The Stoics taught that endurance is key to resilience, helping us cultivate patience in the face of hardship. By approaching challenges with persistence, we reinforce our dedication to growth, proving that strength comes not from avoiding struggle, but from embracing it. This tenacity builds confidence as we trust in our ability to overcome obstacles. When we approach challenges as growth opportunities, we build courage. Each time we face adversity with an open heart, we strengthen our bravery, as we no longer fear difficulty. The Stoics saw courage as a virtue, a quality that empowers us to act in alignment with our values, even in the face of fear. By viewing challenges as stepping stones to growth, we cultivate a mindset that embraces courage as a daily practice. This courage becomes a foundation, giving us the confidence to pursue our goals and face uncertainty with conviction. With each challenge, we reinforce this courage, creating a life that is bold and resilient. Challenges also teach us patience, as growth is often a gradual process. When we encounter hardship, it's natural to want quick solutions, but by embracing patience, we allow growth to unfold in its own time. The Stoics valued patience, recognizing that true resilience is built over time. This patience helps us approach each difficulty with a calm mind, reducing the anxiety that comes from rushing through challenges. By practicing patience, we experience each moment fully, appreciating the process rather than fixating on the outcome. This patience deepens our resilience as we learn to endure without losing our inner peace. Seeing challenges as opportunities for growth enhances our creativity, as it encourages us to think beyond conventional solutions. When we face obstacles, we are often forced to find new ways of solving problems, sparking creativity that might otherwise remain untapped. The Stoics valued creative problem-solving, understanding that adversity often reveals unexpected paths. By embracing challenges with a curious mind, we become more innovative, finding solutions that align with our values. This creativity enriches our lives as we develop skills and perspectives that help us navigate complexity with grace and ingenuity. Approaching challenges with a growth mindset fosters gratitude, as it reminds us of the lessons that each experience brings. Even in hardship, we find opportunities to learn and grow, cultivating gratitude for the strength and wisdom gained. The Stoics saw gratitude as essential to well-being, a reminder that every experience, whether joyful or difficult, has value. This gratitude enhances our resilience as it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we gain. By embracing challenges with gratitude, we create a mindset that finds fulfillment in growth, adding depth and richness to our lives. In these ways, each challenge becomes a meaningful part of our journey, a chance to learn, evolve, and become stronger. The Stoics believed that adversity is a pathway to wisdom, a reminder that true strength is found in our response to hardship. By seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, we transform our perspective, empowering ourselves to face life's trials with grace and determination. This mindset shift enriches every experience, as we recognize that even the hardest moments carry the seeds of growth. Through this approach, we live with resilience, courage, and purpose, embracing each challenge as a stepping stone to a life of strength and wisdom. Moving from the strength found in approaching challenges as opportunities for growth, we turn now to the importance of recognizing and celebrating our progress along the way. The Stoics believed that each step forward, no matter how small, is a part of our journey that deserves acknowledgement. Celebrating progress isn't about indulging in pride, but rather honoring the effort and resilience we bring to our goals. Growth is gradual, and when we take the time to recognize each achievement, we build motivation, confidence, and a sense of gratitude. This practice of acknowledgement creates a positive cycle that encourages further growth and reinforces our commitment. By appreciating even the smallest victories, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude and resilience, transforming each milestone into a source of strength. Acknowledging small wins helps us build momentum. Each step we take reinforces our progress, creating a steady rhythm that carries us forward. The Stoics valued consistency, knowing that small achievements add up to significant change. By celebrating each step, we remind ourselves of the distance we've already covered, which fuels our determination to continue. This momentum becomes a powerful force, keeping us motivated and focused. When we recognize our progress, we see that our efforts are making a difference, no matter how gradual, and this awareness encourages us to keep moving forward with purpose. Celebrating progress also nurtures self-confidence, as it reminds us of our capabilities. Each accomplishment, no matter how small, reinforces our belief in ourselves and our ability to overcome challenges. The Stoics taught that true confidence comes from within, built through experience and self-awareness. By acknowledging our achievements, we develop a stronger sense of self, one that isn't reliant on external validation. This inner confidence becomes a source of resilience, helping us face future challenges with a calm assurance rooted in our past successes. With each celebration, we strengthen our trust in ourselves and our journey. Taking time to celebrate also enhances our motivation, as it provides positive reinforcement for our efforts. When we recognize the progress we've made, we feel a sense of satisfaction that renews our commitment to our goals. The Stoics understood that motivation is essential to perseverance, as it keeps our focus sharp. By celebrating each small step, we create a habit of encouragement, one that helps us stay dedicated even when progress feels slow. This positive reinforcement reminds us that growth is happening, inspiring us to keep pushing forward. With each acknowledgement, we renew our motivation and keep our passion alive. Recognizing progress teaches us to appreciate the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. Often, we become so focused on our end goals that we overlook the value of each step along the way. The Stoics believed that fulfillment is found in the process, not just in the outcome. By celebrating our progress, we learn to find joy in the journey itself, appreciating the small moments that make up our growth. This appreciation creates a sense of contentment, as we realize that each step is meaningful. With this perspective, we enrich our experience, finding value in every part of our journey. Celebrating our achievements cultivates a mindset of gratitude as it shifts our focus from what remains to be done to what we have already accomplished. The Stoics saw gratitude as essential to well-being, helping us appreciate the present moment. When we take time to acknowledge our progress, we foster a sense of abundance, knowing that each step brings us closer to our goals. This gratitude enhances our resilience as it fills us with a sense of satisfaction and purpose. By focusing on our achievements, we create a positive outlook that adds depth to our journey, reminding us of the progress we've made and the growth we've experienced. Acknowledging progress also reinforces our values, as it reminds us why we chose our goals in the first place. Each small win is a reflection of our commitment to our principles and aspirations. The Stoics taught that aligning our actions with our values brings meaning to our lives. By celebrating our achievements, we strengthen our connection to these values, as each milestone reaffirms our dedication. This alignment enhances our sense of purpose, as we see that our progress is not only a reflection of our efforts, but also of our deepest beliefs. With each celebration, we honor the values that guide us. Celebrating progress teaches us patience, as it reminds us that growth is gradual and cumulative. Often, we expect immediate results, which can lead to frustration when progress feels slow. By acknowledging each step, we learn to appreciate the process, cultivating a sense of calm and acceptance. The Stoics valued patience, recognizing that true transformation takes time. When we celebrate small achievements, we reduce the urge to rush, allowing ourselves to grow at a natural pace. This patience enhances our resilience, as it reminds us that steady progress is valuable, creating a mindset of endurance and calm. Recognizing progress also encourages us to reflect on the lessons we've learned along the way. Each milestone holds insights into our strengths, areas for improvement, and resilience. The Stoics believed that reflection is key to wisdom, as it helps us learn from experience. By celebrating our progress, we create a moment of reflection, allowing us to appreciate the growth and knowledge gained from each step. This reflection enhances our self-awareness, helping us understand the impact of our efforts. With each celebration, we deepen our connection to our journey, seeing how each step contributes to our overall growth. Celebrating small wins helps us stay focused on the present, as it shifts our attention to the achievements of today rather than the goals of tomorrow. The Stoics valued presence, understanding that fulfillment is found in the here and now. By recognizing our current progress, we ground ourselves in the present moment, appreciating the achievements that are already ours. This focus on the present reduces anxiety about the future, as it reminds us that growth is happening now. By celebrating each step, we find peace in the present, knowing that each moment is valuable and worthy of recognition. Through these practices, we see that celebrating progress, no matter how small, is essential to a fulfilling journey. The Stoics understood that each step, however modest, adds to the richness of our experience, building confidence, resilience, and gratitude. By taking time to acknowledge our achievements, we create a life that honors both the journey and the destination. This practice of celebration transforms our mindset, allowing us to see the value in every part of our growth. With each acknowledgement, we cultivate a life filled with purpose, appreciation, and strength, embracing each step as a meaningful part of our path forward. Building on the importance of celebrating every small step, we now arrive at a deeper foundation essential for a fulfilling life, prioritizing both mental and physical health. The Stoics believed that true strength and resilience come from caring for the mind and body as intertwined pillars of well-being. When we nurture these two aspects, we create a solid base that supports our growth, helps us handle life's challenges, and enriches our experiences. True well-being isn't just about achieving goals, but about sustaining a healthy balance that enables us to thrive, stay present, and pursue what matters. By focusing on mental and physical health, we build a life that feels strong, stable, and resilient, ready to take on every challenge and cherish every moment. Caring for mental health begins with self-awareness, recognizing the thoughts, emotions, and stresses that impact us. By paying attention to our inner state, we can identify areas where we need rest, support, or change. The Stoics valued self-knowledge, understanding that a calm mind provides clarity and resilience. Through mindfulness and reflection, we cultivate mental habits that strengthen our ability to remain steady. This mental stability empowers us to face challenges with calm and purpose, creating a balanced outlook that is neither easily shaken nor overwhelmed. Prioritizing our mental well-being strengthens our inner world, building a foundation that sustains us in every situation. Physical health is equally crucial, as a strong body supports a clear mind. The Stoics understood that physical well-being impacts our mental state, influencing our energy, mood, and focus. Regular movement, nourishing food, and sufficient rest are not only acts of care, but essential investments in a life of vitality. By maintaining physical health, we experience greater energy and resilience, which fuels our pursuits. This care for our bodies is not about perfection, but about building strength that supports us daily. When we feel physically well, we are better equipped to enjoy life's moments, face challenges, and pursue growth. Mental resilience is built through practices that calm the mind, such as meditation, journaling, or time in nature. These habits reduce stress, helping us gain perspective and maintain balance. The Stoics believed that a clear mind is essential to wisdom, as it enables us to see situations without being clouded by anxiety or doubt. By cultivating mental resilience, we prepare ourselves to navigate life's ups and downs with equanimity. This resilience becomes a foundation of inner peace, helping us manage emotions and respond thoughtfully to challenges. Through these practices, we create a mental landscape that is peaceful, focused, and ready to grow. Physical health routines, like regular exercise, also foster discipline and persistence. Committing to physical activity teaches us to stay consistent, even when motivation wanes. The Stoics saw discipline as a virtue, understanding that it builds both mental and physical strength. When we prioritize exercise, we develop resilience in body and mind, creating habits that sustain us over the long term. This commitment to physical health reinforces our discipline, which carries over into other areas of life. By caring for our bodies, we practice dedication that strengthens our character, creating a foundation of persistence that supports our personal and professional growth. Mental health benefits from setting boundaries, as it helps us protect our peace. Often, we take on too many responsibilities, leading to stress and burnout. By prioritizing boundaries, we guard our mental well-being, allowing space for rest and reflection. The Stoics valued balance, understanding that well-being requires saying no when needed. By setting boundaries, we create a life that respects our mental health, ensuring we have the energy to invest in what truly matters. This practice helps us stay grounded as we protect our time and energy, fostering a life that feels both manageable and fulfilling. Physical health requires rest and recovery, as these are essential for growth and resilience. Often, we overlook the need for rest, pushing ourselves to do more at the expense of our well-being. The Stoics understood that balance is key, as it prevents burnout and ensures sustained vitality. By prioritizing rest, we allow our bodies to recover, enhancing our strength and energy. This balance between activity and rest supports a healthy lifestyle, enabling us to pursue our goals with renewed energy. Taking time to rest isn't a sign of weakness. It's a commitment to sustainable growth that respects our physical limits. Mental well-being is enhanced through positive relationships, as meaningful connections provide emotional support and understanding. The Stoics valued relationships built on mutual respect, recognizing that companionship enriches life. By surrounding ourselves with supportive people, we create a network that strengthens our mental resilience. These connections provide comfort during difficult times and celebrate with us in moments of joy. Investing in relationships that uplift us nurtures our mental health, creating a sense of belonging that enhances our well-being. With this support, we feel more equipped to handle life's challenges, knowing we're not alone on our journey. Physical health is also bolstered by a mindful approach to nutrition. What we consume affects not only our bodies, but also our minds, influencing energy, mood, and focus. By choosing nourishing foods, we support our physical well-being and mental clarity. The Stoics valued moderation, understanding that balance in all things is key to health. This mindful approach to eating enhances our physical strength, helping us feel energized and ready for each day. Nutrition becomes an act of self-care, one that respects our bodies and minds, creating a foundation of health that supports us fully. Prioritizing mental health includes reducing exposure to negativity, whether from media, environments, or people. Constant negativity can drain our mental energy, affecting our outlook and resilience. The Stoics believed in cultivating a positive mindset, as it helps us face life's challenges with grace. By protecting our mental space from negativity, we foster a mindset that is hopeful and strong. This choice doesn't mean ignoring reality, but rather focusing on perspectives that uplift and empower us. By curating what we allow into our minds, we create a mental environment that supports growth, positivity, and resilience. Physical health benefits from regular mindful movement that suits our bodies and preferences. Exercise isn't only about fitness, but about creating energy, reducing stress, and fostering joy. The Stoics saw the body as a vessel that supports the mind, and they valued care for physical well-being. By engaging in physical activities we enjoy, we build habits that feel sustainable and rewarding. This regular movement enhances our quality of life, creating a sense of vitality that strengthens both body and spirit. With each step, stretch, or lift, we invest in our well-being, building a body that feels strong, balanced, and ready for life. Through these practices, we understand that true well-being begins with a commitment to both mental and physical health. The Stoics taught that a balanced life requires care for the mind and body, as they are interdependent. By prioritizing health, we create a foundation that sustains our growth, resilience, and joy. This commitment to well-being enriches every aspect of our lives, enabling us to live with energy, purpose, and peace. With each act of care, we honor our journey, building a life that feels strong, stable, and ready to embrace all that comes our way. Through this dedication to health, we lay the groundwork for a life that is fulfilling, resilient, and deeply meaningful. As we build a strong foundation through caring for our mental and physical health, we now turn to the pursuit of continuous growth through learning. The Stoics believed that lifelong learning is essential to personal growth, resilience, and wisdom. Embracing a growth mindset means valuing each opportunity to learn, welcoming new perspectives, and being open to change. Learning is not only about gathering knowledge, but about transforming ourselves with each lesson, insight, and skill we gain. By fostering a growth mindset, we expand our potential, deepen our understanding, and enrich our journey. Every day offers the possibility of growth, and by staying curious, we build a life that is vibrant, resilient, and full of possibility. A growth mindset begins with curiosity, a drive to explore, question, and understand. Curiosity keeps our minds active and engaged, constantly seeking new insights that broaden our perspective. The Stoics valued curiosity as a way to understand both the world and ourselves. By nurturing a curious mindset, we open ourselves to endless learning, finding wisdom in places we might not expect. This curiosity becomes a spark that fuels our growth, encouraging us to seek knowledge not out of necessity, but out of genuine interest. With each question and discovery, we add depth to our lives, building a mindset that thrives on learning. Continuous learning encourages adaptability, as it keeps us open to change and new ideas. Life is constantly evolving, and a growth mindset allows us to adapt rather than resist. The Stoics believed in flexibility, knowing that adaptability is a strength in navigating life's uncertainties. When we are open to learning, we develop the resilience to face new challenges, as we're willing to acquire skills and knowledge that help us adjust. This adaptability makes us more resilient, as we learn to see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. By embracing learning, we create a mindset that welcomes change, enhancing our ability to thrive in all circumstances. Learning also teaches humility, as it reminds us that there is always more to know. A growth mindset acknowledges that knowledge is limitless, and we can never fully master everything. The Stoics valued humility, understanding that wisdom begins with recognizing our limitations. By embracing learning, we accept that we are always students, open to new insights and corrections. This humility creates a mindset that is eager to grow, free from the arrogance that comes with thinking we know it all. By remaining humble, we continue to expand our understanding, building a life that is enriched by the endless pursuit of knowledge. A growth mindset enhances resilience, as it equips us with tools to handle life's challenges. Each skill or insight we gain adds to our ability to navigate hardship with wisdom and strength. The Stoics believed that knowledge is a form of power, one that helps us endure and grow. When we approach learning as a way to strengthen ourselves, we build resilience, as each lesson becomes a tool in our personal toolkit. This resilience is not just about surviving challenges, but thriving in spite of them, using each hardship as a chance to apply what we've learned. With a growth mindset, we turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. Learning fosters self-awareness, as each new insight reveals more about who we are and how we respond to the world. The Stoics valued self-knowledge, understanding that growth begins with knowing ourselves deeply. By embracing learning, we explore our strengths, weaknesses, and motivations, gaining clarity on our values and goals. This self-awareness guides our journey, helping us make choices that align with our true selves. As we grow in understanding, we build a life that feels authentic and purposeful, grounded in the insights we gain from continuous learning. With each lesson, we deepen our connection to ourselves and our path. Embracing learning opens us to diverse perspectives, enhancing our empathy and understanding of others. When we learn from people with different backgrounds, experiences, and ideas, we broaden our worldview, appreciating the richness of diversity. The Stoics valued empathy, seeing it as essential to compassion and connection. By staying open to new perspectives, we build empathy, recognizing that each person has unique insights to share. This openness enhances our relationships, as it encourages us to listen, understand, and respect differences. Through continuous learning, we create a mindset that values connection, finding unity in diversity. A growth mindset encourages innovation, as it invites us to think creatively and explore new solutions. When we embrace learning, we are not bound by rigid ways of thinking, but are open to experimenting and discovering. The Stoics valued creativity as a way to approach life's challenges with resourcefulness. By fostering a growth mindset, we develop the ability to think beyond convention, finding innovative paths that align with our goals. This creativity enriches our journey as we become problem solvers who are unafraid to explore new ideas. With each lesson, we enhance our ability to create, adapt, and succeed. Continuous learning builds confidence as each new skill or insight reinforces our belief in our abilities. When we commit to growth, we see ourselves improve, which strengthens our self-esteem. The Stoics understood that confidence grows from experience, as each achievement builds our sense of self-worth. By embracing learning, we create a track record of growth that boosts our confidence, proving to ourselves that we are capable. This confidence empowers us to pursue our goals without fear, as we trust in our ability to grow and adapt. With each lesson, we strengthen our belief in ourselves and our potential. Learning also instills patience, as growth is a gradual process that requires time and effort. The Stoics valued patience, knowing that wisdom cannot be rushed. A growth mindset understands that true knowledge takes time to acquire, and it is willing to learn slowly and steadily. This patience enhances our resilience, as it helps us endure challenges without becoming discouraged. By committing to learning, we build patience, understanding that each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to our growth. With this mindset, we remain focused on progress rather than speed, allowing our journey to unfold naturally. Embracing a growth mindset enriches every aspect of our lives. The Stoics taught that wisdom is a lifelong pursuit, one that brings purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. By fostering a mindset that values learning, we create a life that is constantly expanding, filled with curiosity, understanding, and growth. Each lesson becomes a stepping stone on our path, adding depth, strength, and meaning. Through continuous learning, we transform ourselves and our world, creating a journey that is rich in experience, wisdom, and possibility. This dedication to growth empowers us to live fully, embracing each day as an opportunity to learn, evolve, and thrive. In embracing these life lessons, we open ourselves to a journey that goes beyond surface goals, guiding us to live with purpose, resilience, and clarity. From building resilience and identifying toxic influences to learning patience, nurturing our mental and physical health, and embracing a growth mindset, each lesson reflects the wisdom of Stoicism, teaching us to navigate life with strength and grace. As we honor these principles, we find not only a path to personal growth, but a powerful toolkit for facing life's challenges and embracing every opportunity for joy, fulfillment, and inner peace. If these lessons resonate with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know which lesson speaks to you the most and how you plan to apply it in your journey. Don't miss out on more transformative content like this. Subscribe to the channel and join us as we continue exploring insights that can shape a powerful and meaningful life.